everybody, and welcome back to the Motion Boardshop podcast. We got to take care of a little bit of business right now, which involves the monthly giveaway. Thank you to all the people who have been subscribing on Patreon and donating to make this all happen. There's going to be a feature film coming out here soon because Kyle and I have agreed to do it. And once we make bad decisions, we stick our bad decisions out. So thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. We have taken your name and we have written it on a Motion Boardshop sticker. This one, Stephen Magnia. Such names as C Love, Connor Love, The Goose, Balls to the Wallace, and many more. And we've got a special guest, Jackson. He's going to be our Vanna White today. Ooh. Ducky, grab me a name. Ooh, get in there nice and... Ooh. What is it?
Man herds?
Man herds? That's man hands.
Wow, dude, your handwriting's worse than me.
Dude, I've broken my fingers. Nick Hansen, man hands.
I miss you,
That's
Nick.
right. We miss you.
Nick.
You should come live on my couch for a little bit.
You should come play Pokemon Go again.
Yeah, you should come. And one more. Get in there. Rustle them up, big boy. Just you and that pretty haircut, Jackson.
Bailey HR.
Bailey Henry Reich. You are our second winner. Please, you too. Let me know your address. Send it to podcast@motionboardshop.com, and we'll send you the finest wheels, skate tool that your friend can steal, and Stay Stoked grip tape. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the pod. Bye.
Cue the intro.
Get it, fingers. And we're here with our very special guest today. We got Jackson Wells, a.k.a. what's your stage name?
I go by Quackson.
Go by Quackson, but to my girlfriend, you are Ducky.
Exactly. There's actually another DJ with that name, but we'll let it slide.
Ducky?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're the Quackson to me.
Thank you.
I wanted to show you this clip because it came across my shit the other day. Go down to like the fourth video. Okay? Check this shit out. This is some random dude that just came across my Instagram.
Oh, I've seen this.
And I was just like, what?
Is that Brazil?
Yeah. I don't know. Wherever it is, it's good.
There's definitely a Brazilian flag in the bio. Yeah. That's Brazil.
213 feet. Okay, get rid of that. Now go to this next one that homie did. The second video. This is 77 meters.
Holy shit.
Right? Yeah, that's so big.
I hope you have extra wheels, my guy, because having done a few slides like that, them Johnsies flat spotted.
I don't know. They're called Dizzy wheels. I don't know what kind of wheels they are, but it looks like they slide good, or that dude's really good at sliding.
I think it's probably both, because it definitely looked like he was slowing down still. It looks like he's going aggressively fast and then just going full 90 and just letting God figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, that's how our friend Ryan did it when he did that like super big ass slide a really long time ago. Like, I don't know if you remember.
I do. I know exactly which one you were talking about. That was crazy, especially back in those days. Like the full 90 blast,
dude,
100 plus
pull
speed.
that up. RVOD.
Yeah, that was definitely iconic for the time.
Yeah, I can't believe, dude, he did that for $200.
Didn't you put the $200 down?
No. It was the other dude who ran one-off longboards.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, so go like deep into the video. Skip all that. Dude, I had hair.
You did have
That's
hair.
me.
Holy shit, you had long hair. I forgot about those days.
Yeah. You can, this is Ryan. So the way we got this to happen is we got some of those wheels that Wolf had done that super big ass slide on. And we're like, damn, this is the only way we could figure it out. So like, check this out. Boom. Look how 90.
That's literally 100%. That's 90 as it gets.
Boom. That is how you do it. If anyone's wondering how to do a super big slide, crank it to 90.
And just pray.
Yeah, because when he got done with that slide, like his wheel was flat spotted and you couldn't ride the board.
Those were also wheels that didn't really flat spot. So just the ability to do that on that steep of a hill. I mean, that spot's also just not a place that I would go for fun necessarily.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and it was super funny because he was riding the Switchblade at the time. And we were like, oh my goodness. Like, you're pretty much riding the same board. Like, would you do it on this board that my buddy's coming out with for some money? And he's like, shit, yeah. And like, of all the people that we knew, he was the one who could do heel sides.
That big.
He just had the worst toe sides, but such good heel sides. Like, he could do them. He was the first person I knew that like no matter what speed you were going, like he could do a heel side stand up slide. And I remember being like, impressive.
That took a while to come around here. Like people were pretty pucked down at any higher speed for the longest time until Sam and myself started skating like that everywhere because all we knew how to do was free ride.
You think? Yeah, I would say that you guys definitely turned the scene pretty hard one way.
Yeah,
Like,
because that's all we did. We grew up in Kenmore. It's literally just roads like that. They're steep with one corner. Like, how else do you expect me to do? It's like, gotta drive 30 minutes to find something cool, and we were like 16, and like that wasn't really in the cards. And
now there's way more cool hills. Yeah, pull up one of those early Jackson Wells BSs. Oh yeah, dude, hammers. I like this one because it was in the rain. And I thought it was in the Wayne.
It was in the Wayne.
Yeah.
I remember that filming this. It was a terrible day outside. I think in the middle of winter. And you just picked me up from my house and we're like, we're going to go film a part now. I was like, right now?
Yeah. Dude, it was
torched.
This hill's kind of straight. And this is on a Phantom too.
Yeah, this is on a directional ass board. A terrifyingly directional board.
Yeah.
That's in Kenmore. Yep.
Wow.
The good old days back when I was good.
Oh man, do you think you could do that now?
Not on that board, but in normal life on a normal board, absolutely.
Really? You still got it?
It takes me a second. I'm older now and it's not as familiar, but it takes me like 30 minutes and then I'm pretty much back up to speed. Give or take. I went out skating with the boys the other day. We seshed Edgewater and it was tight.
Dude, I was skating near there this morning. It was pretty okay.
It's honestly my favorite place to go if you're just trying to sesh some like serious corners, but you got to go with homies because that road is an interesting one to do by yourself.
Yeah, you need at least one person to spot a corner because otherwise it's just like you're just blind bombing stuff. Yeah, we were in that neighborhood, hitting a couple corners, definitely trying to use our best judgment, but it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough when you're like, I really want to hit this corner, but I can kind of hear the spotter.
Yeah.
Let's see how this works out. That was such a good switch toe.
I remember it took me so long to nail that. I specifically remember this day because it's obviously about to get dark, and you were just hammering on me to get an actual good switch toe, and I just kept falling.
Right there.
Yep.
Oh. Oof. I mean, decent switch toe.
Not
decent
terrible.
Switch toe. So, I've known you forever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Since I was 13.
13, yeah. Because I remember when you came into the store the first time and your dad was just like, this longboarding stuff is so stupid. Your dad's like, I want him to be like a football player.
That didn't work out too great. That did not work out too great.
He definitely was like, you're not allowed to longboard as long as you're playing football.
And guess what I did?
Longboarded?
I stopped playing football.
So, yeah, he hated that for a moment. It was interesting to see you get out of, let's just start this off. How'd you get into longboarding?
I mean, I went to the same high school as you, and you were.
Did we go at the same time?
No, I was about to say you're like I think you graduated like 6 years before I did. So as you knew at that time, Shoreline was bussing with longboarders. There's like everyone skated everywhere. You saw it everywhere, even if you were just like going to school. Like you saw someone like bombing down a hill somewhere. And growing up like snowboarding, I was like, damn, that looks like snowboarding, but like out there.
Yeah.
And so I just got kind of interested in it by proxy of just seeing it around. And then Motion Boardshop was like a mile from my house. And, when you're a kid, you're just wandering the streets because what the hell else are you going to do?
Because your parents were like, get out of the house.
Yeah, your parents are like, go outside, go do something. You're like, but I'm playing GameCube. But pretty much just kind of saw people skating around. I got kind of interested in it. I could never like traditionally skateboard. I tried. Terrible. I got size 13 feet. I can't do shit. Like,
you built like a duck too.
Yeah, I'm built like a duck, quacks like a duck. You know what they say. Shit. But I just saw it around a bunch, thought it was cool. Bought a shitty Sector 9 in Oregon because I'm guessing there's no sales tax. And my dad was like, yeah, let's get a board here. And I was like, yo, I'm going to go buy like the board I want like soon enough. Because it was just like a shitty drop through Sector 9. And like, yeah, I learned how to skate kind of on that, but definitely not really. And then I bought a Nemesis from you about 9 months later.
A Rain Nemesis.
Yeah, Rain Nemesis Bear 1052s.
Oh.
Yeah, 10 millimeter axles, baby. That's how you know it was a while ago.
Oh my, wow! I feel terrible that's what you were riding.
You sold me. Yeah,
I mean,
thanks,
dude, they're
asshole.
durable.
Yeah,
they're
for
durable.
110-pound 13-year-old, they're great.
You were doing early grabs. You were definitely doing early grabs.
Sounds like some justifying your own poor judgment choice there, my friend.
You probably didn't have 8s. I mean, dude, I don't know. Everything back then bent, and those were the bears that were like terrible.
Actually,
the
I
bushing
broke
seat,
those too. I snapped those bears.
Yeah. See, you needed the 10s. Could you imagine? You may not even be here if you're on the 8s. You'd probably be dust in the wind. So, okay. First off, I think that they should still make the Nemesis because they no longer make the Nemesis, but whatever.
The variable sizes of Demon Seed, though, is also a W. Like, you can call a spade, it's close enough.
Yeah, they don't, yeah. Okay. I'm just saying that you could run a tighter wheelbase, top mounted on the Nemesis.
Yeah, no shit. It was huge at the time. Like,
yeah, I'm just saying that was pretty cool. Do you know what wheels you were riding back then?
I mean, you know what I do to wheels, so I was riding a bunch of wheels. Because I started flat spotting wheels pretty much out the gate. I'm not gonna let this be like a 2-hour podcast where you lead up to making the joke of me flat spotting wheels. I'm gonna get in front of it. I'm gonna tell you, I flat spotted wheels.
This is politics 101. Get in front of the car crash.
Yeah, get in front of the car crash so you can be the first victim.
That's how you get the real sympathy vote. Yeah, Jackson Wells. Dude, I mean, you did flat spot the piss out of so many wheels, and it was just you. And like, we tried to help you. And the worst part is like, you'd ride with Sam, and like Sam does it so effortlessly and can just core wheels perfectly all the time, so evenly.
Yeah.
Because his slides are just buttery smooth. And your shit is just so back asswards
So
and like
hangered.
So like, it's just, I mean, the style is different. Like, I would put money on you switch over Sam any day of the week because
Sam
you're
gave that up.
Yeah.
He knows it's stupid.
yeah, but you were just like blasting switch toes to 90 and switch heels to 90 like all the time.
And regular toes to 90.
And yeah, regular
heel side.
Yeah.
Every slide to
Everything
90.
was at 90.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, that was pretty funny. What was the first set of good trucks that you had?
Good wheels, you mean?
No, good trucks.
Oh,
When were you like, oh my goodness, this is performance now, baby?
I remember I bought Crails, and those weren't good either. And then, I think I bought Bear Smokies, and those also weren't good.
The spherical bearing ones?
Yes.
Oh, were they the ones that were like raked?
Yes.
They had like, they weren't the inline axle. It was the black ones that were like,
They
oh
were
man.
shaped hella funny with the spherical bearing, and that felt like piss unless you were going 50, which I was not doing at the time. So those sucked. I think I owned a pair of Randalls in between that were like, they're right. But then when I got my first pair of Arrows, which I traded Ryan, I think, for like some random gear, and I got his like 196 Arrows, the K1s. And I was like,
yeah, that's right.
these are hot. I never really got like super bougie trucks. I think that pair of Arrows is like, I think I had Radical Talons for a while, and those were pretty tight. But
Dude, you did. You were smashing on those Radical Talons.
I bent the shit out of them. So bad.
Do you have that Skyhawk review pulled up?
I think I'm riding Talons in that.
You are. Directional as fuck Talons.
45, 35.
45, 35.
I was free riding that. And I was free riding that Switch, which I don't know how that happened that great. I guess I also did have those Bear Precisions as well.
Yep, you had those Bear Precisions.
And those were tight. I don't know, nothing ever hit like Arrows did.
No
offense to Bear. I rode for you and all, but those are sick. But like, we can all call Arrows what they are.
Yeah, they're the best Randalls of all time. I'm not looking at it any other way. Randalls were great. Just, they're so good. I have a set of K5s in the back that I'm not using right now. If you want to really get on some bullshit, like you stood on my board. That thing
feels great.
It feels great.
It feels fantastic.
Yeah, you can definitely see how that would be interesting.
Yeah. If you're offering, I'm down. We go film some spots. Those would be pretty tight.
Jackson, is this you skating down Giant's Head?
Yeah, but it was Max and I skating it not during an event. And
this is like back from Skylands or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
On the way back from Skylands, we hit it and did like 2 or 3 runs. And this is Max with the GoPro. I yeet my board like from corner to corner at one point, which is pretty great. Where you like have to run down the corner and you go get your board at the next corner. And you just keep going like Giant's Head classic.
I mean, where's your favorite spot to do that? Go corner to corner.
Like to launch my board down?
Yeah. Where's the one you've done it the most?
Oh, coming out of tightrope and shooting it like all the way into the woods down there.
Okay.
I've had some pretty fun falls on tightrope.
Yeah.
And by fun, I mean not super great. Like going full speed into kids pendying and just having to huck a heel side that gets away from you and you launch your board and yourself into like 3 other people. Like that type of shit. I think one of the worst falls I had there though was not tie rope. It was at the corner with the branch. Like, the like gravel corner. The one that has the branches in the road beforehand. Like
the branches,
like the road's all fucked up because
roots.
Like,
it's got roots.
Oh, yeah.
It's got roots, right? Yeah. No. That corner sucks. That corner fucks me up so hard, so often.
I think I was with you on that trip when I cracked a rib there. Do you remember the trip where I just ended up sleeping like the last day because a bunch of I don't
remember anything about Giant's Head.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah,
better that way.
Yeah, I was about to say 100 degree heat and $12 beers
tend to do it to you.
Yeah, I was about to say that spot in the road definitely sucks. I'm not a big fan of that one section.
That's where I cracked a rib, and I think I still skated like 1 or 2 runs that weekend, but skating with cracked ribs sucks.
Yeah, I was about to say my favorite corner on that particular road to launch a board from one side to the other is Sunny down to Dead Man's.
Oh, that one's pretty fun.
The second corner in the Showtime 5 down to the fourth corner in the Showtime 5, which is tough because that's like the fourth corner is definitely the hangout corner. So like people just see a fucking board coming down, and then a dude with like a bunch of dirt on his pants and like a helmet and gloves, just like
Sasquatch coming out.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I wish I was better. It's always so steep when I come here.
It doesn't get any easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
I miss that hill.
I've definitely slid off the road there.
So many times.
Yeah.
A bunch.
I'm always like, dude, I'm just going to make it down. Like my goal whenever I go there is like make it down one run without crashing. Just like top to bottom the road, don't slide off. Cause like I could do it if no one else was there.
Oh, I was about to say, that's no problem when there's no one else around you. It is the people that are the variable because you either catch up somebody or someone catches up to you.
Oh, it's never B. It's always A. And people that catch up to me are like, I'm so fat.
Yeah.
And like when people catch up to me, it's like, oh, dude, they're gonna pass me like super fast. Yeah. No big deal. It's when because I typically drop towards the back. So I'm like, I'm not going to go fast. And I realize like I'm just fat and I go really fast anyway. And then like the power carving doesn't work. I can barely slow down.
And it's almost like you go faster when you stand all the way up because you're so big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's the Venturi effect. It's like a vacuum thing. You guys wouldn't get it. It's super high level.
Big boy things only. Yeah, I don't know. Like I've definitely had both happen. The worst is when people are like, I guess the people who downhill usually go first, so you can at least avoid that. But sometimes some people decide to like square lip it behind you, and you're like sick.
Oh, or someone crashes who is square lipping, and then you end up in front of them because they were like had to stop and like. And then all of a sudden they're behind you, and you're just like, why do I see leathers and magnums behind me? Please,
please make it stop or make it.
Sir, I don't think this is your seat. I don't think you're in my section. Please.
Yeah, that's some first class shit.
Dude.
You got downhill wheels on that shit?
Yeah, I'm in the emergency exit, not by choice. Just like that's the last seat available.
By sheer size and sheer ability to die without caring about it.
Exactly. So, back on target though. Yeah. You're a young kid. You're 13. You start skating. At what point do you start? Like, what's your first event?
It may have been a really old Cath Lammet. I think I went to a really old Cath Lammet because I was like finally getting into skating events when I was like 14 or 15, bought a shitty pair of motorcycle leathers. Had a Charlie though, which was sick and not super safe, but I had one.
They're the fastest.
I
still have one. I still wear it. You know that Charlie? Yeah.
Didn't you break that one?
No. Honestly, never crashed in that helmet. That's why I haven't gotten rid of it yet.
Suspicious.
Oh, right?
I don't believe it.
I've never put that helmet to the ground.
Because those helmets are one and dones.
And once it gets one, I will done it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I bought a shitty pair of motorcycle leathers, had a Charlie. I think it was Cath Lammet because I remember I was just thinking about like doing events, and that was at the end of the circuit. It was always like the end of August or the beginning of September.
Like a Labor Day-ish type stuff. Yep.
So I remember I went to the race and I just went for one day and just did the race, crashed out early in juniors probably, and then
one and done to myself. You know how they do it.
Yeah, well, that's when they had ramps and a race. Like, I mean, they had that the whole time.
It was the Cath Lammet Death March.
Yeah, and like that's your first event you go to, and you've never like raced skateboards besides like outlaws and shit. Like, that's pretty confusing.
Yeah, it's a pretty backwoods way to race. Having like ramps after corners that you have to drift.
Definitely not what one would consider ideal. But that was my first event, and like obviously I was seeing videos because at the time, like, you know, skate house was a thing. Like longboard media was like real good, and so I'd see videos of events like Danger Bay and Britannia and all that shit, and I was like, I want to hit all of these, and so I started going to like Britannia, Kelowna, and like all of the Canadian circuit besides like Danger Bay and Jake's Rash, because Britannia always fell on Memorial Day, so I had the weekend off, so I could go up and do it feasibly. But my parents wouldn't let me skip school, so I couldn't go to Danger Bay and Jake's Rash. Big L's.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So you went to a bunch of Britannias, but none of the other.
None of the other of that trifecta, which is a bummer.
I have never done it. Oh no, I have. I haven't done it the easy way. I did it Danger Bay, Jake's Rash, and then left Jake's Rash, came back to down to Seattle,
and then went back for Britannia.
Then went back for Britannia. Yeah, I was with Aaron Hampshire at the time, and he needed to get back, and I was like, "You stupid fuck."
That year was great. That was the year that we did the Rock Vodka. That year that and when you and I kept running our cars into each other. Like, you would just come up behind me at a stoplight, and it was like a little more than a love tap every time. I'm like, damn, Nate just assaulted me with his car.
That is, oh my God. I can't even talk about it. That is
I know exactly what trip that was.
That was the one where I came back to Britannia by myself.
Yes.
Yeah, that was we got to talk about that after the podcast. I don't know if you know exactly what I'm about to say, but that's the one where I showed back up at Britannia and I was just a little wide-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was super funny. That was the one where we went and got a bunch of mason jars and filled them up with like Kool-Aid mix and vodka and just like sold them to all the Canadians or something. I forget. I don't know if we sold them or drank them all, but
it was both.
Needless to say, by like the end of the evening, we were just absolutely just wrecked. And then we raced in the rain.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
It was great. I loved racing in the rain. I was going to say, do you remember the Giant's Head that was in the rain? Were you one of those?
Yeah. That was arguably one of the best Giant's Heads.
It was like we were one of the 30 people skating it in the pouring rain. There was no one there. And it was just like you, me, and Sam, and a bunch of like Northwest homies.
I want to say Devin.
Devin was there for sure.
I don't think Devin was down at the time because he had just moved to Seattle and didn't know how to like really skate in the rain. Yeah. I'll be honest, my rain skating ability is pretty shit right now.
Well, I've been mine's terrible. I haven't done it in like 3 years.
Yeah, I'd probably, if it was Slug Wars, I'd probably be first fence. Like, no doubt about it. My rain skating is off. Yeah, I remember that one being so fun because like there was no one on the hill. And no matter what, there's a super good photo of you from that one where you're doing a squatter into the double middle finger with the freewheel coach shirt on, like into the hairpin after tightrope.
Oh, and I thought it was after Dead Man's. I thought it was the last hairpin.
I don't know. Either way, great photo.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, skating in the rain is so much fun. I've also been a big proponent of skating Maryhill in the rain. I think that's another super fun one. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm just gonna wait for it to dry out. It's like, how dare you?
Yeah.
Like you gotta skate it in the rain. It's like definitely sketchy, but I think that's like standing up and just like grip sketching down it is the way to do it.
I actually raced like a consolation final at Maryhill in the rain, and I won because I was like, haha, joke's on you. I live here. And it was pretty fun. I think it was like back when it was the Festival of Speed. And they had like the consolation round to get into the regular bracket or whatever, like the day before the actual race. When your qualifying wasn't that good. Mine wasn't that good, you know. I'm 17.
When you needed state-sponsored welfare to get into open division, they give you like the consolation bracket.
Yeah, they give you the consolation lottery where it's just like you have like a consolation like race bracket to get into open, and I'm pretty sure I won that if I remember correctly. I think. All the Maryhills.
Yeah, that's they all go together. I mean, you were really good at skating in the rain. I feel like that was one of the things that you definitely had, that like Northwest built-in button of being able to skate when it's wet.
That's all I did. That's how I got around for a while, you know? It was like, it's like, oh, I'm going to the homie's house. Like, I'll probably just skate regardless of the conditions. So you just kind of get used to it. But I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's really fun. I think it can be super dangerous when you're doing it on like bad open roads.
Yeah, that's the photo right there.
That's the one.
That's a ramp. No, I think you're right. That's got to be corner. That's got to be Sunny.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh shit! Earlier I said throwing your board off of Sunny into corner 4. I meant to say throwing your board off of Share into corner 4. Dude, that's a great photo. And another reason why the Nemesis needs to come back, because the Barbarian was
just the Nemesis.
We just ripped it off. Yeah, that was the main thing. Initially, do you remember what the initial name for the Barbarian was?
No.
Dude, it was called the Action Jackson because you were the one who like developed it.
I do remember that. I didn't remember that we were nicknamed. I guess we did call it that for a while.
Yeah, Jason was like, yo, we're going to call it the Action Jackson. And like he would turn his back and I would like look at people, I was like, there's no fucking way we're going to call it the Action Jackson. Like, I will burn this place to the ground before we call it the Action Jackson.
Rightfully so. That's a terrible nickname. Dude, people call me that shit all the way through sports and like just it's like a random dad thing to say. I'm like,
it's a very dad joke thing to say. Yeah. Yeah, I remember being like, there's no way. So, you know, moving forward, great board. You skated it a bunch. Sam skated it. I
still skate that shit.
Really?
100%.
My girlfriend has the mini Barbarian. She's got 2 of them, technically.
I have a mini Barbarian in my garage. It's like fresh Tsunami Tech one that I haven't set up yet. I also got a Griffin in the car. But, yeah, I remember designing the Barbarian and pretty much being like, we should make kind of like a Nemesis, but like kind of like a A4 Skyhawk and concave. So just like, give me a Nemesis with a shitload more concave. Yep. And make it buzz. And that's pretty much what they did.
Yeah, and it buzzed.
Oh, it buzzed. I still ride that board. It's still like the most comfortable thing I've ever ridden.
You like molest the drops in that shit so hard.
I can't really ride anything without those.
You like some people stand near the drops. Like when Sam was skating the Barbarian, he wouldn't even touch the drops.
Yeah.
He was like skating with his feet like kind of in from the drops, and it's just like, dude, what the fuck? And then when you would skate it, like you're fucking like, and I know that you always skate like the thinnest Vans of all times that were super flexible.
I'm wearing them right now,
dude. And like you would just have your feet like so like monkey like clawed, and like your whole shoe would be like bent around the actual pocket. I remember just being like, that man's connected. Like, he's not going anywhere right now.
I mean, it's the easiest way not to high side when you're doing a toe side, for sure. You got full agency of that thing. So it's like when you're doing a bunch of aggressive toe sides, that's a safety move.
Yeah, especially the switch toe sides.
Yeah, and I don't know, I got size 13 feet. That shit doesn't work on most boards. When I come in here and I look at how narrow things are, I'm like, I could ride like 15% of the store now.
What do you think of the boards, like the new race boards?
I get them. I get them, and
what do you mean by that? I say like, what do you mean you get them?
They make sense if you are comfortable with as much traction as possible, and you're gonna go really fast and maybe kick out a slide. But if you're riding that shit for fun, it don't look fun to me. It does. It looks like the wheelbases are so goddamn small. The boards are so narrow. It's like they work in a tuck and they work in a pre-drift. But like, imagine trying to straddle one of those to like go genuinely have some fun somewhere. I'm just like,
you have 0 kicktails, sir.
You have 0 kicktails. You got 0 pockets. You've got a board fit for someone with a size 10 shoe at biggest. Like, no,
you're not about it.
God no. I mean, but like I said, understand the concept. That's
you're like, I get why people are winning races on these little boards.
Yes, 100%. That makes sense. But like, that ain't my vibe. I'm trying to have fun.
Yeah. That ain't the berries I'm crushing to jam on. Yeah. I was about to say, that's like, I get it. I'll sell them to people, but like, I mean, dude, I just made a huge jump in space-time technology. I went from a 30.5-inch wheelbase on my top mount to a 28.5-inch wheelbase on my top mount.
It's revolutionary.
It feels good. It's one small step for man. Technically, it's 2 inches, but it feels like a lot. It's been interesting to skate. We went and skated today. I didn't put a puck down.
I mean, that's normal though. Like 28, like used to be like a pretty mid-range wheelbase. Now people are gonna think that shit's big, but like, now I just feel old when I'm saying this shit. It's weird. Somebody
who I was talking to recently, who developed and designed my trucks, told me that he rides a 28 or 28.5, and I was just like, good enough for Kevin, good enough for me. Yeah, like who am I to go and switch up all this wheelbase stuff?
Kevin's also bigger though too. Like he's
me?
No, he's just a bigger stature of a dude. So like
we're like very similar height, except he's just a little kid. He's just like 185 pounds probably. I don't know.
He ain't thick like you.
No,
dude. If you race though, like and got good at it, you'd be fast.
If I cared,
if you cared enough.
I just can't get into it. My obsession right now is disc golf. Like if I got into racing the same way that I got into disc golf, like I would be dead in a guardrail.
Yeah, no one would be running the shop either.
Yeah, it was just like the OCD levels of like, I'm just going to focus on this all the time.
Yeah.
That's really dangerous. And so like, if I was just like, all I'm going to do is tuck as fast as I can and like stretch and get to the point where like I can like do this well, I'd probably have hit like a number of guardrails just because you can't. I mean, dude, the worst mistake disc golfing is done to your disc. Like, it's never like.
It's never a you problem.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I just like miscalculated this corner and just like used my body as a stopper on that guardrail.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that being said, I've been loving skating this summer already. I mean, it's not even summer yet. We're still in spring. But like, it has been fun. Every time I get back on my longboard, I'm like, I wonder if I'm still going to enjoy this. And every time I'm like, yep.
Oh, without question.
Still digging it.
I don't know. The older I've gotten, the more I've found it is very spot dependent because there's times where I'll go to Kiss and Tell and it's like, yeah, I have fun, but I don't like it's going through the motions. But going to somewhere that's a little more challenging or a little more like you have to pay attention is what like brings me to skate now.
I like path skating. I'm like very into like path skating, just because there's a lot of them. Like Slug Wars is really fun. There's another one around here called Math Path. Kyle,
which I've never been to.
That's because you haven't been skating a lot. But that one's like a little bit more chill. There's another one called Whale Trail, which is pretty unchill. There's this really sweet secret spot that we're gonna go to soon, Kyle. It's out in the middle of fucking nowhere. And
That's the dopest.
I mean, Kyle doesn't know where it is at all.
Kyle doesn't know what it is.
Yeah, he's going to get there and be like, wait, we have to walk all the way up there. It's like, yeah, the corners are like a mile and a half away up this hill. And he's just going to be like, you lied. So, yeah, don't worry. Have fun carrying your camera.
I was about to say, this sounds like
But there's another one. There's the golfing course.
That's the one I thought you were talking about.
No. The golfing course looks sweet, but like, people are going to know about the golfing course. The hill I take you to, you're going to be like, just keep that to yourself, don't you? Like, seems like something I would share.
I'm curious where this is. Tell me after the episode.
No.
Don't blow that shit.
Let me just put it this way. It's in between here and Snoqualmie Pass.
Oh.
It's a road that you would look at and be like, what a phenomenal place to end up in a fucking body bag. It's got a lot of really fast corners. It's got a lot of really cool guardrails. And it is really like, I don't know. All I have to say is like, wow, what a great piece of pavement.
Well, hit me up when you go on that recon.
Yeah.
I'm interested in this.
I'll take you.
I've been talking about how I have like a few more months of being on my family's health insurance. So I'm like, I got like a good summer in me to really do something like stupid. But then after that, it's like, I'll probably still be stupid, but not as stupid. Calculated stupid.
Math dumb.
Yeah, math dumb. For sure.
I love it.
So I want to film something, you know.
It'll happen. Kyle will probably make it happen.
Oh, yeah.
I'm interested.
Got it.
So you're a young kid.
Yeah.
A wee boy.
A wee lad.
A wee lad. And you're now like 15. So you like start going to races, start winning consolation prizes in the wet.
Yep.
You are how old when you get your first sponsor?
I think 15.
15? What was your first sponsor?
5 Mile Longboards, baby.
What?
I'm pretty sure that was my first sponsor.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm like pretty positive they were the first. I mean, all those dudes took such great care of me at that point in time. I was really young and
How'd you get sponsored?
by not sucking.
Ooh. I heard a different story that involves a pool game.
Oh, fuck's sake. I forgot about that.
That's a
goddamn story.
So how'd you get sponsored, Jackson?
Fuck. Okay. Sorry. Actually, and a footnote before that, I was kind of writing for Black Dog.
Okay.
Before that, I am not just bypassing the story. My dad he and the 5 Mile guys were at a bar during Maryhill in Goldendale, and he bet them in a pool game that if he won, they would sponsor me. And previous information to this, he had heard that they were already talking about like being interested in me as a writer. So I think he just decided to push the envelope as the character that he is. And then he won that pool game. And the next day at the Maryhill Festival of Speed, they gave me a different board to ride because Dwayne from Black Dog, right before I left, gave me a butterfly at the time because that's what I wanted to ride. But then Cody the next day was like, "You're on the team, kid," and gave me a board at the event.
Nothing like switching up the deck that you've become familiar with to race down a hill.
Yeah.
Understandable.
In the middle of an event.
And how'd that go? Did you win that event?
Did I win any event?
No.
I mean, dude, back when I used to be able to race juniors, you know, when that was a thing, like I did pretty well. I got to the semifinals or finals most times, or at least I would get close, you know. But ever since when I went out of juniors, it was like, I am not competitive with these people. Like I can keep up. I could keep up at the time, I should say, but like not in a way that was like enough. And I didn't care enough. Like I wasn't out like practicing my lines and shit. I was out to skate to have fun.
Mm-hmm. You're like, I'm just gonna push really hard and hope that everybody else falls, and I'm closest to my board so that I can get back on it first.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
But I mean, racing was really fun. I'll say like and especially like back then, some of the events were like you'd get a lot of free ride time in, so you could get to be like familiar with the hill. Like Britannia, you could ride for like 2 or 3 full days, which was like kind of weird. Some events,
yeah, they were like 2 days. It was like a 3-day event, and the third day was like racing.
Yeah,
which I think is the best way to do it. If you're gonna have an event, like the first day is all free ride, so you can get used to the hill, and then the second day or the third day is the one that you actually race on.
Yeah, like the first day you get familiar with it. The second day you do like qualifying and trials and shit or whatever, you know. And then the third day is the actual race. And I think that's the most fun way to do it. And there was a decent amount of events like that at that time, but like Maryhill was always questionable whether or not you were going to get like enough practice runs in at the time. And it's also miserable. It's, 100 degrees and you're in leathers.
And you got to be up at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
And we're just like, okay, you're going to wait for like 4 hours and we're going to fuck up your time. You ready?
Yeah. You're sitting up there waiting for them to go person to person with like 2 minutes in between every person. And you're just like, dude, I've been up here in 100-degree heat in a leather suit for like 2 hours. And you expect me to run a fast time now? Like, bro, I need some water. Like,
help me, I'm dying.
Yeah.
You ever drink out of the fountain up at the top?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, then you're immune to COVID.
Duh.
Haven't you seen the memes?
I think if you attended a Maryhill free ride, you're probably immune to COVID.
Depends on where you sleep. You sleep down at like the beach, you're probably fine. If you sleep in a hotel, no comment.
Yeah, definitely no comment. If you go to Maryhill and you don't camp, what are you doing? You better be winning.
You better be winning. You better be employed gainfully or winning.
Yeah,
either of those.
Or
yeah,
older, because otherwise, like that's half the fun,
Yeah, I mean, we got to a point where like the last time I went, I will be honest, I booked a hotel because I was with Allison, and then she was kind of like, "Why didn't we camp? The time we camped before was way more fun." I was just like, "Oh,
she's down.
Oh shit, yeah." I mean, I didn't know, but yeah, it was way more fun. But the other thing that was super crazy is, there are so many times that like I think about that event, and I'm like, man, it'd be really cool if you could just camp with all the same people.
Yeah.
And I'm planning on ambushing Dino when he gets on here, having one of those like, moments. I'm just like, can you please put a campsite at the bottom of the hill? Like
that would be the most ideal.
That would be the best. That way everyone was together because that's like the most fun. The community. I love being around people.
And I think that's kind of like, I don't know, obviously it's skating.
Danger Bay, Britannia.
Yeah, all those are community based.
Giants Head.
It's all about seeing the homies, getting into shit, and then just like having a good time during the day or sleeping,
Exactly. Exactly. Sleeping during the day, skating during the night. That's what it's all about.
I really want to skate Maryhill after dark.
Sometimes it's fun, but sometimes it's also you skate it during the day and you're like, oh, the windmills make sense. But you skate it at night and you're like, oh, this is when they make like the
More
energy.
sense.
Yeah, dude, it just blows out there at night. And
everything feels fast at night anyway. So like being in a place with 0 street lights and like a shitload of corners during the night would be pretty goddamn fun.
And a bunch of moonlight.
Yeah.
It is. I'm just sorry. Flashbacks. You get it. I mean, I've skated it at night, and I remember it being like as clear as you would need it to be to skate it. Just like wow, like just so bright, so beautiful, just really tough to skate at night because like you're always second guessing yourself. Like, am I going off the road?
Yeah.
And then like the windmills are like swinging, so like depending on where the moon is, you see like fan blades leaving shadows on the ground as you're skating at night. And you're just like, oh man, this is
something.
This is really hard to skate down now. And then like the yellow line is really deceiving because it's a little reflective at night. So it like makes, I don't know. It's really fun. We should all do it, but I'm not advocating for it.
Yeah. It's also I don't think that's a really,
not a family event.
Yeah.
Definitely skating that hill at night is kind of exciting.
Yeah. It sounds fun. I don't know.
It sounds fun. Sometime it'll happen.
Yeah.
And so, God, Maryhill. I was just thinking of all the times that we've been there. You like get sponsored by 5 Mile.
Yeah.
That also came with a couple other benefits at the time, which was the Paris and the Divine thing.
Yeah.
How'd that work out?
Real well. I mean, I didn't ride Paris as I think I chose to ride other shit. They gave me a few pairs of trucks, but it was never like I was sponsored by them. But Divine, oh my god, those were the good days because like they were so generous as a sponsor and their wheels were fire. So it was like they would send me boxes and boxes of stuff. It was like, oh, I'm going to an event. I get as many race wheels as I needed, and then like 6 pairs of free ride wheels, which I would destroy instantaneously or give to you and the homies sometimes.
I didn't take any of your wheels, but thank you.
Oh, that's a goddamn lie.
Dude, I didn't skate Street Slayers or City Slashers or Road Rippers, man.
You talked about it on a podcast or two ago.
No. People write us down on your wheels. I know. Yeah, definitely when you got sponsored and you had like the bricks of wheels.
Yeah.
And like it got to a point where like it was always like City Slashers gone first.
Yeah.
Like immediately City Slashers was a 64 millimeter center set wheel and they were just so good and you would just assassinate those.
Immediately.
What was your favorite Duro? Because it came in 3, right?
Dude, the original swirly green color, which I think were like 78A, like the cruiser wheels they had were like surprisingly so good for free riding, and I ruined so many pairs of them. Like a lot.
And then you've also had Street Slayers,
Which were tight, but those are tight for like faster free riding sort of stuff. They were really cool for like neighborhood runs and not like free riding, like big slides for fun shit, but more like cornering and like you know, faster free ride. Those were really tight. And then honestly, the my like favorite dark horse out of those were the 82A Road Rippers, the green ones. Those like I free rode those for a long time.
Really?
Yeah, because they lasted forever. You couldn't flat spot them.
Which is what you needed.
Yeah,
which is what you needed.
And they're hella slidey. And like, I don't know, I like free riding square lips when you're doing like technical stuff. It's fun.
Yeah. And I mean, and the other thing is like they were all the same urethane. So like once you'd like smoke the skin on some of those Road Rippers, then you're just like, dude, this is pretty much just a Street Slayer now.
Yeah. 100%.
And you just punish them.
Yeah.
Because yeah, you were definitely riding the gravy train when it came to wheels. And I know a lot of people around were benefiting and racing down.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I really ever took a set of wheels from you, and if I did, it was probably
Street Slayers. I'm pretty sure you took a purple pair of Street Slayers. I don't know why my stupid memory can remember that, but I'm pretty positive.
Maybe I did. I just haven't.
I did.
I just haven't skated Street Slayers. Like
I think that's a lie because I've seen you skate Street Slayers. Like
I can't. It doesn't come to mind.
not a lot of things come to mind anymore.
I mean, there's maybe I don't know. I honestly like. That'd be interesting if I did. I just don't remember skating Divine wheels because I was like whack. Like at the time, I think I was skating just a bunch of.
You were skating mostly like Avex shit, and you were tossing Thaney wheels.
Yeah,
And
I was
like
going
hogs and like weird like Sector 9 wheels that were all like pretty mids. Like you were skating. You were one of the first people to skate mids like very purposefully.
Oh yeah. I definitely. I just knew. I just knew the wheels that I wanted to skate, and I was working at the skate shop at the time, so I was like, I'm just gonna skate all this absolute shit. And like, dude, top shelves, 65 millimeter top shelves all the time. I had like, I forget who it was. Zach Miller at one point placed an order for like 5 sets of top shelves, and the company that he ordered them from accidentally double shipped him, so he ended up with like 10 sets. And it just got to a point where like he was skating them, I dabbled, and then I was skating them a bunch. I skated some butterballs, but those were honestly
kind of mids.
Kind of shit. Like they're not really buttery. Like they're kind of chalky. They're definitely like more chalky than they are buttery. Skated a bunch of those. Remember those mids wheels? Those like black and green shitty ones. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Okay.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen so many sets of these, and I've skated a few myself. The first batch was really cool. The first batch that was like super thaney and really shitty, but then they got a second batch that was more like
rubbery.
Yeah, more like a bad platinum theme. Really bad platinum theme.
Yeah, it was bad. And then I just remember those sucking. That was, that kind of hurt. A shit ton of ABEC, a lot of Hogs wheels.
A lot of the really bad Hogs wheels, like the ones that were
the 76 zombies. Yeah, when I was riding for LandYachtz, I remember skating a ton of 76 millimeter zombies. And that was, once again, when like, dude, I remember my first package from them being like 4 boards and like 10 sets of wheels and a set of precision trucks. And I think about it now, and like people are like, yo, dude, I'm riding for such and such brand, and it's like 3 sets of wheels and a skate tool, and you're like, whoa, we've come a long way.
The market's changed a lot, you know. Those were the days when you could do that, like when people were selling 20 switchblades in order, and things were going well, like very well at that boom peak period, and I feel like you could see the same kind of reciprocation from the companies to the riders because they're like, this is an asset that's helping promote our product, you know?
Definitely. I mean, time and a place too. Like that was
Yeah.
right when like YouTube was coming out and people were like putting out videos, and it was definitely the time when a good video would like launch a person into instantaneous famedom.
Yeah.
So like what was your when did you go? I guess when did you go from 5 Mile to LandYachtz, and like tell me about that.
That was, I can't remember the year exactly. I want to say I was like 17 or 18 at the time. So run that back like 6 or 7 years ago. And I don't know. I mean, 5 Mile was still doing pretty okay, all things considered, as a company. And like, I still really loved their product. But
They hadn't died yet.
yeah, they hadn't died yet, but it was kind of on the horizon, you know, like you could feel it a little bit.
It was like this. It was like the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie. We were like, this third one's probably gonna suck.
Or the second National Treasure, you know, similar kind of tier of mids. But like, I don't know. I don't even want to talk bad about those guys, but there's just like, you could see like there wasn't a lot of R&D for new things, and it didn't seem like there's a lot of like a moving forward plan, and like things were just kind of weird in general. And I really liked LandYachtz boards, and I just thought
It's fucking LandYachtz. Let's be
Yeah.
real. At the time, they had so many cool boards. That's when they had like the time machine, the 9 to 5,
Yeah.
the switchblades, the switches. They probably had like a drop, like a wedged drop deck, not an Evo, but something else.
But you rode that board for a while. I know what you're talking about. The
Top
drop-
speed.
No, what was it?
You're not thinking of the time machine, right?
I was thinking of the time machine.
Yeah, that thing was sweet. I mean,
I just don't fuck with double wedged. Like
I mean, it's the same angles as like a 50-50.
yeah, I suppose.
It was like a 10-degree wedge on each end with a 40-degree truck, 50-50.
Those boards just always felt weird to me. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, they do. They feel super weird. I don't know what it is. I think it's the way that like your wheels are in relation to your feet.
Yeah.
But they definitely slide kind of great for 180s. That's when I broke my ankle, and I had a switchblade at the time, and I went back to LandYachtz. I was like, yo, you guys gave me a switchblade, which is cool, but like I can't stand on this board because like it makes my broken ankle hurt. Can I trade this out for a time machine? And they were just like, the fuck? Like everybody knows the switchblade's a better board. I was like, yeah, but I'm going to Giant's Head, and like
I was gonna say I remember that Giants Head
yeah.
trip.
That's when I had to print out directions on MapQuest, and like I had like a stack of papers to drive from like Seattle to Giant's Head.
And that's when you had one CD the entire trip.
No. Wait, that was the first time we went to Giant's Head with one CD.
I thought that was the same.
No, because one time we went to Giant's Head, we went to LandYachtz so I could trade the board out,
Oh, that
and then
was
we
it.
went over, and I want to say it was you and Danny Smith.
I think the second one was me, Danny, and TJ.
I think it was you and TJ, because that's the one that we skated that road out in Wenatchee on the way back. And I had the driveway, and TJ was standing out the sunroof of my car filming with my camera and getting like blasted back and forth as we were skating down this super sketchy road. Honestly, you could probably look that video up. This is like,
I watched it the other day, actually.
what did we call it?
Nebraska?
Yeah, Jackson Wells, Nebraska Raw Run or something.
Something like that. I think it was Nebraska. It was, or Oklahoma. It was one of the flyover states.
Yeah, definitely one of the flyover states. It's where we used to like, oh, where's that road? Be like, always name it something super goofy. Let's see. Oh yes,
Oh, it's
yeah,
Duck
this
Bluff.
road, Duck Bluff, in Nebraska. This is on the way back from Giant's Head the second time. Both
Yeah.
times that we went to Giant's Head, we did not have anything to listen to other than one CD, and it was the same CD. And these
Both
are
times.
it was the same CD both times, and it was like 2 years apart. So right now you're wondering, damn, how'd they get this super great angle? This is TJ standing out the top of the sunroof and filming. If you're wondering why it's shaky, it's because TJ's literally
holding it
holding
out
the
of
camera. We didn't know what duct tape. Oh my goodness. He switch.
First run, too, I think.
Dude, that was first run. Wow. This is such a cool driveway.
We should go back and skate this.
Yeah. I skated it at one point.
I don't know why I was switch tucking because it doesn't look good.
But it's cool. Who else can switch tuck? No one in this room.
Fair enough, I guess.
I mean, like, this holds up. I mean, you suck at skating in this compared to like today, but like there's a lot of people that are sponsored that probably could not do this today.
Yeah.
Like maybe after here, this is probably doable. And what are these? Street Slayers?
Street Slayers, Bear Precisions, Wolf Shark. And like, dude, I don't ride top mounts well. I don't know why I was riding the Wolf Shark. I thought it was cool. Like, it is a cool board, and like, it was fun to ride. But, like, that's just not my speed. I came to terms with that like pretty recently, or well, not recently, but like the last few years of skating. I was like, I just shouldn't ride top mounts.
Yeah, you're just like, man, I really suck at this.
Yeah, like I don't have as much fun. I can't just be sloppy and do dumb shit.
Oh, you switched what? Wow, dude, switch toe.
I used to be pretty. I feel like I could get back to there, but I just also, I don't know. I'm about to buy a pair of knee pads and just kind of say fuck it.
You could get so good so fast now that you know that you shouldn't be riding top mounts.
Yeah,
And that's also kind of a jank setup. That's a lot of urethane on a really short wheelbase.
yeah. That's like a 36 or a 38 inch. I think it was a 36-inch board.
Yeah.
And I'm like 6'1", dude. I was 6'1" then. You know, I shouldn't have been riding that.
Yeah, that's Nebraska with that big river and the super tall mountains. Way to go.
Dude, I've been just saying everything's Lake Chelan. I'm just like, dude, Lake Chelan looks sick. Like, I'm watching videos of the Mediterranean, and I'm like, dude, Lake Chelan this time of year? Like, shit, this looks good.
I know, right? It kind of looks decent if you didn't know that this was kind of like the sticks.
Yeah.
So this is when you tuck it.
Yeah, this is when I decided to stop fiddle farting around.
Fiddle farting around. Dude, making cargo shorts look good, baby.
I'm still wearing those today, and I'm not proud of that shit.
I'm not proud.
Yeah, I just haven't bought new clothes. I'm broke.
I don't get the same amount of free stuff I used to.
Yeah, the free stuff.
Dude, so how did it make you feel getting like sponsored and stuff like that?
At that time?
Yeah.
I felt really sick. I mean, it was also like longboarding was the thing I was really passionate about at the time. And it was a cool feeling. And, you know, it was something I like, because I don't know, I went to high school with a bunch of kids that longboarded. So it was always kind of like a topic of conversation. And then being sponsored was always like one of those glorified things. And then when it happened and they all treated me really well and I got a bunch of sick perks and like people filmed videos of me for it and shit, like it was cool. It was really cool. I don't know, I wouldn't have traded that experience for the world, and it was just sick to be able to like fuck around and ride.
Wow, that was so good. Wow, this is like 6 years ago at least.
At least. I think it's 7. No, dude, this may be 8 years ago because I think I was 17 back when I was going.
I mean, because right now we're coming up on 4 years of Motion Boardshop, and I worked at Omen for like 3-4 years. So like that's at least 7 years.
Yeah.
And when I started working for Omen, you started riding for Omen.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, and I always was like around Omen being at the shop at the time because they were, you know, the same entity. But, I mean, it was cool to always see the Omen boards progress, and then finally when things like the Sugar came out and like the Barbarian and all this shit, I was like, yeah, I want.
Because you were the person who. How did the Sugar come about? That was like you and Max Ripperman, right?
Me, Max Whipperman,
Wax Mipperman.
Wax Mipperman. I think Ethan Cochard was living in town at the time, and I think we all just kind of like saw the trend of like single kick freeride boards like absolutely crushing it. And we're like, we could make something that's really cool and kind of unique. So we did the pseudo dropped like pockets type thing. And I just remember we kept workshopping it for like a few weeks of just us being in the shop collectively and just like kind of game playing a bunch of different features. And it was cool having the Omen shop in the back because, you know, you just like tweak a few things and then you have a board to ride the next day. So that was tight as hell. That was a cool experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was probably, I don't know. I like look back and I was like, damn, what board did the best job at shaping something? And I think like the Evo did a really good job of that. But I feel like there's a couple other boards that had come out that were like really widely popularized that like people really liked. And I think one of the very important things, at least in like the North American continent, about the Omen Sugar was the reason that it was so popular is the blem rate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because
factory seconds, baby.
Dude,
factory seconds.
For like every good board that was pressed, like 2 boards were at like factory seconds. And so there were always factory seconds to buy online. And so like people were picking up like Omen Sugars for like $60-$70. Sometimes like brand new. It's like, oh yeah, small like chip and tail or like slight warp. And so people were picking these boards up for super cheap. And everybody had one. Like
and everyone like there was such a weird like movement of people free riding those boards like really well on video. And it would always be like, damn, that person is crushing it. And it definitely I don't know. It was one of those first boards that you would see like well circulated amidst the YouTube community of people making badass videos, which I think did a lot of justice towards the board and how well it did like conceptually and generally.
Yeah. I think that it was really good. I mean, some absolute murderers were riding it, which is super cool. It was really functional. It was super cool. It was very like, it was the meta of the time. That's for sure. And yeah, I was about to say like, how did that come about? Like, why those features?
I mean, I'm trying to think back to like the hyper specifics of it, and I just feel like there was a decent amount of people riding like kick-tailed boards and free riding, and like clearly like free riding super hard, and there's just like more features that could go into free ride boards like that. And Max and I also like always rode drop decks, like straight up always rode a drop deck pretty much all the time. So we wanted pockets like that on a board that could also still be like free rideable from the bid dogs. And definitely, I mean, it just worked out that way. I don't know. At that time, we were just kind of like game planning something cool and just tried to like fit our personal bias in there with what we saw people riding and saw people doing and like saw the demand for, I guess.
Yeah. Because I mean, that thing was the jam.
Yeah. It was hot.
It was hot. Definitely one of the things that I think really allowed a lot of people to like get down with Omen was that particular board. Because like you look at the first couple offerings, it's like whack ass carbon
matrix, $300 for like a nemesis with pretty carbon fiber.
Yeah. And then after that, you had the TKO and the Pike,
then the TKO. Yeah, and those were like
they were like DK Penguin knockoffs,
and they were right like after the Switchblade hype. Like after the Switchblade was like one of the best selling boards. It was like the Pike kind of came as like a weird secondary kind of attempt at something similar. And then the TKO came the same thing, except with kicktails for a 38-inch drop board.
Which was the cool thing at the time. Like, this is when the Tomahawk was cool.
Yeah.
This is when, like, the Dervish was cool. And the reason that I think the other thing that really had to do a lot with the Pike success is, like, it was stiff. So you could actually slide it really well.
Yeah.
Which I think was really important because that was one of those things that, like, dude, it's so tough to slide a board that is flexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you watch some of those old loaded videos and you're always just like, how? You guys are banging this out. I'm like, flexy Tantians and Dervishes. You guys are savages. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that comes about pretty much like, meh, it's selling okay. People are into it because Motion Boardshop has a big YouTube following at the time.
Yeah.
And then like, what was next? Was it the Spawn or was it the Sugar?
Shit.
I wanted to ask you about this because I don't know.
I think it was the Sugar than the Spawn, but I could be wrong because the Spawn kind of came about as like the desire for like a Sugar but less like hyper like straight hill free ride oriented, I guess, because it was it was like a board that could be downhill. It was a board that could be free road, had badass pockets, but it was also a small tom mount. I think it went Sugar than Spawn, but I could be misremembering. No, I think that's right.
Okay.
But I don't know.
And then what boards happened after that? Then it was like Kush, right?
It's like Sugar, Spawn, then Kush. Was that the 5? No, the Dreadnought was the 5 and 5 at first. But like Sugar, Kush, God, and then I think we did like the Truds, like the big kicktails.
Yep.
I think that was.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And then it was
dude, like the Trud was sick, dude. If they still made
a big one,
you still have that 35.
Yeah.
Dude, 35 by 9.5 double kick. Like, what a savage deck.
It was fun to free ride. I have like bare 185 TKPs on there.
And the coming ups of LandYachtz. Yeah. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
Dude, LandYachtz hooked you up, and I just remember you just riding the goofiest shit. That fucking Tomahawk on TKPs.
Oh my God, dude. I rode that on TKPs.
Yeah, I was about to say that deck.
And like 86A City Slashers.
Yeah, dude, you were slipping.
That was some shit. That was back when that was hot, and I thought I could do things with a kicktail. I can't. I'll be honest about that. Like, I cannot.
I guess the kicktail is just kryptonite. The closer I get to it, the worse I skate.
Yeah, literally. That's like, dude, I feel guilty. Like, the last skate part I filmed was that, like, remember Mini Hoots video that we shot?
Yo, pull that up.
I was riding a board with a kicktail.
A Killjoy.
Oh, yeah, I was riding a Killjoy.
But that deck doesn't have a big kicktail. That's like the most, like, chill tail you've ever seen.
But it's also just, like, one of my shittiest parts. Like, that was the last thing I put out on the internet skate-wise. That's, like, hands down one of my shittiest, like...
Oh yeah, you were into DJing at the time.
I just started. That was the day after like one of my first shows.
Was one of your first? Yeah, you got that, fingers.
Working on it.
Oh,
Which
okay.
one is it? This one?
No, that was a video that I filmed for Motion Boardshop of old.
Oh yeah.
I think it may. Oh, God,
Nope. It's remember mini hoots.
Mini
Definitely a
hoots.
motion board shop video.
I don't know if you posted on here. I know it's on Facebook, but that's
No, it's definitely on YouTube.
yeah.
Remember, and then yeah, for sure, mini hoots. It's one of those. You were shredding in that video. I think that the other guy that was in that video as well was he also spelled remember wrong, but we won't get into that.
I did.
No, not you.
I thought you saw the title.
It's your keyboard.
Oh yeah, the E's sticky. I don't know why.
Oh, you have a Mac keyboard. Those suck.
Dude, Mac keyboards are the worst.
I just got a new keyboard, and I realized, like, I told my friends, I was like, I hope you enjoy my
Scroll down.
messages without extra I's and E's.
Yeah, dude, they're always ganked. Are you finding it?
I know it's on Facebook
It's on,
for sure.
it's on Facebook. I just pulled it up on Facebook.
What?
I don't think it's on the other.
This is a raw run.
Yeah,
Yo.
Closer though.
this is the last thing I have out of me, the most recent, and it's terrible, and I just can't stop thinking about that
No.
for some reason. That's it.
Oh, this is what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that is what I'm talking about.
No, dude, this is a. Yeah, you suck at skating, but I mean, dude, you're so good.
This still is just such a midsy video. Like it just.
Uh,
Like
I mean-
I mean, it's
So
filmed
steep.
great. It's a cool road, but like the skating is subpar at best. Like look at that. I'm trying to do like weird turnies with the kicktail. And, like I don't know what I'm doing. Probably slept like 2 hours. Like
yo, honestly though, I almost hit you with my car right
you
there.
did. You definitely did.
And I mean, I told you, like, dude, just chill it out. We're just trying to get like a video of you just. Ooh, use that kicktail that time.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah, I mean,
Like look at me trying to slide a board like this. Like you can see that shit. Like I am literally behind the back truck. Like
yeah,
it's not good.
yo, it's great. Oh,
Oh, there you go.
ooh, that was sketchy. But it
That's
was way
alright.
better than me. Yo, there's actually a full video that goes along with this.
There it is.
Yeah, it's on the Motion Boardshop channel. I know for a fact
Damn.
because we shot it together right when I got the shop. We like hadn't even. We didn't even have the location yet. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Because it started off, we were skating at Kenmore Strait. And that dude,
I do remember that actually. I remember skating there, but I just didn't remember. I only thought this was a wrong run.
yeah, that's the last thing that you put out on the internet.
100%.
And then we talked
I found
recently
it.
about putting you out on the new Freewheel Co video. Damn.
Oh shit! We skated that one spot in like the Woodinville area. Or
The werewolf.
That
Yep.
shit's W.
Yep, that shit's definitely a W. Oh my God. Explain that jersey.
That is my artist jersey. That's my older version. I got a new one now. But my girlfriend designed it and made it for me.
I like it.
It's definitely I got a new one I think is sicker.
Yeah, how come you're not good at skating anymore?
Because I spend all my time at a computer making terribly aggressive noises over a beat. It's pretty sick.
We had Dave Hildebrand on the podcast, and he was talking about how. Okay.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't write a goddamn kicktail.
Oh man. Damn. Yeah, I think you end up doing that hella well though.
At a point.
That was decent.
I was trying
For the
trying to-
camera.
Dude, I was trying to land that like all day.
Yo,
Dude,
is
this-
that's my board. That's the one that had the super lightweight. Ooh.
See, I'm telling you, I could probably still switch toe side. It'd just take me 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And a pair of knee pads.
Dude. Oh my goodness. Oh, missed the driveway. Dude, you're good. Oh, you're very good. Whoa, this is why you needed those 10mm axles. Oh,
actually, I forgot.
That
I
was
forgot
super
about
good.
that. I
That
forgot
was
about
super
that.
good.
That was sick.
Go back. Give the man his due. Give the man his due. I want to see that
I
again.
totally forgot I did.
Look at that. That's kind of sick. That's a sweet one. If you're like into those weird tricks.
Yeah. Oh,
Yo,
yeah. That's
that
definitely.
was.
I was surprisingly hot. I forgot I did that.
Yeah, that was definitely like above your pay grade. Yeah, you didn't deserve to be able to land that. Oh, what? Dude, that was actually kind of sauce as well.
I used to have
You
those
had that
dumb
like
shit in the
dumb
law.
shit tricks at low speeds. Oh yeah, we skated werewolf. That's right.
Oh God.
Oh man, do you remember this? We just found this road out in the middle of nowhere, and I was like, "Yo, go die on this."
Yes, and I was like, "You're kidding me," because this was terrifying. This shit's steep. This is not like doing it justice how steep this road is.
Yeah.
And this was blind. I'm not.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh, dude. This dude. What's his name? You know who I'm talking about.
I can't see him. Wait, who is?
You know who it is.
I do.
He's living in California now. He ate a bunch of shit. He used to live in Alaska.
God, this dude's the homie, and I'm totally forgetting. Is it Andre?
Yeah, Andre.
That's what it is.
That's right. He's super
Yep.
good.
Hell yeah, I got it before they showed the name.
Yeah, Andre Mayo.
I got it before they showed the name.
Yo,
Baby. That's what matters.
stats. And he's skating an Omen board. Wow. Speaking of the trud.
Speaking of the goddamn devil.
Yeah. Yo, he's really good. Oh,
yeah,
my
I forgot about the
goodness.
text sliding goodness. He was into that for a hot minute.
Wow. Dude, can you believe I'm buttboard filming this? Like, you are welcome, world. Like,
I miss the Kenmore Straight being
wow. Yeah, because we were at that's
the
the
Omen Factory.
That's the Omen Factory. Yeah, I was about to say. I didn't have the shop at the time. Oh. We must have blocked the road or something, because, like...
I think Monkey was in town. I think it was you, me, and Monkey.
Yeah, because this is hot. Like, there's no reason you should be skating this buck nasty right now when, like... Oh... Good thing you had that tail on there. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been able to get over that.
Good thing I got that kick tail to get all of 6 inches off the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
So this is the last video I filmed. I guess I've only like recently seen the raw run, and I'm like, damn.
This. Yeah. You was screeching.
Yeah, there's Monkey and Chrissy.
Oh shit. That's before my Subaru blew up.
It was before your Subaru blew up.
Chill.
Chill.
Yeah, that was 2 head gaskets ago. Way to go. So we love that. So what are you doing now?
I make
you make a
music.
joke about sitting in a basement, but like
I make electronic music. I make electronic dance music, to be specific, and I go by the name Quackson. And I DJ live shows sometimes. I make a bunch of shit. It's on Spotify. It's on SoundCloud. If you're into that sort of thing, go check it out. If you're not, it may not be for you.
some people have described my music as loud.
Yeah.
It was interesting because we were living together and you were getting into making music.
Yeah.
Which at the time was just like
Very lightly. I was like treading my feet in the waters, and it was
your
something I
big
thought-
size 14 duck feet
Yeah,
into the
I
waters.
stuck the first third of my foot in the water and was like, this is kind of cool, but like it just didn't make sense to me at the time. And then when I moved out of living with you and started living in my parents' house, I started to get into it more and just kind of gradually learned it over time. And I really enjoyed doing it. Like I've been a huge fan of like electronic music and dubstep and miscellaneous since I was like 13, which I actually blame on the people that worked at Motion Boardshop at the time, because I remember y'all were playing dubstep in the shop at like 13.
Dude, what was it? It's that like Zed's Dead, like Eyes on Fire.
It was
song.
that and like the Please Mr. Postman remix. Like
Oh yeah.
you and Ryan would play that shit all the time. I was like, what the hell is this? And I got super interested to what that music was. And I would just go
Yeah,
home and
dubstep.
I would play SSX Tricky and listen to fucking dubstep and drum and bass.
What's the other band that was super popular at the time? Bad Wings. You know what I'm talking about?
I think I do.
They did the song Bad Wings. They did a song.
What?
Yeah, look this up, fingers. Type in the song.
Jamie, can you pull that
Yeah,
up? All you got is one weird obscure name and like
dubstep, and the song named Bad Wings.
But yeah,
I promise it'll pop up. You tell me the band, and Jackson's gonna be like, "Yeah, you're totally right. I know."
The Glitch Mob.
Oh,
Yeah,
Glitch Mob. Yeah.
Glitch Mob. There
Glitch
we
Mob's tight
go.
as hell. Yeah. So I got into it when I was really young, and I like started going to shows when I was really young, and I was always super into the music, and I listened to it like pretty religiously, and I was like, yeah, like I kind of want to try making this. And it's biting off way more than you can chew, because that shit's hard. It's definitely not as easy as I would expect, because you're like, oh, I have all these cool ideas, and then you're like, I got to put these into reality, and it's like a lot more difficult.
Time consuming.
Yeah, that's why when I'm saying like I spend 12 hours a day in a basement making aggressive noises, like that's
what you're doing.
That's a literal description. But I don't know, it's fun. I enjoy it. I'm like having fun doing it. I've gotten to travel to cool places, play cool shows, meet cool people.
Yeah, I mean, there
It's
was an interesting situation where it went from like Jackson's just this like dude hanging out in a basement too much to like Jackson's opening up this show in Seattle called Freak Night, which is it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I've gotten to play cool venues, and I'm thankful as hell for that. I've gotten to play like the Wambu Theater. I've gotten to play side stages of the Gorge. I'm playing the Gorge this year for real on a big stage. Which is,
What event's that?
it's up Beyond Wonderland. It's in October.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's not going to be the worst time in the world to be at the Gorge.
No, it's
Normally
not.
they're like, oh, schedule it for the hottest weekend in July.
Exactly.
Make sure someone's dead.
Yeah, make sure there's no shade on site and water's difficult to find.
Mhm.
But I mean, yeah, my event production company worked 2 shows at the Gorge in 2019. That shit's hard. That's like 100-degree heat. You're out there for 18 hours a day, and that's hard shit. But
Yeah, people that aren't from Seattle that like show up like, what's up, Seattle? It's like, dude, you are like 100 miles from Seattle right now.
it's George Washington. Thank you. What's up, George Washington? My first founding president.
yeah.
What the fuck?
And then drop the set.
Yeah, then drop the set.
Excellent.
That's already the game plan.
So is it, well, I mean, going from like skateboarding to playing a show where, I don't know, how many people in the crowd? 10, 15? There's like a couple thousand when you were at the...
It depends. At the Gorge, it's like, I mean, I'm opening, so people are going to be trickling in, but that stage could probably hold like 3,000 to 4,000, and it'll probably get, up in the upper thousands by the end of it. I've also played like Showbox Soto, which is like, I think 1.8. Like playing in big crowds is terrifying because that shit's like, there's a lot of people there. Like I like playing in intimate rooms where it's like, oh, there's like 300 people, everyone's going crazy. Like this shit's fun. But when you get to a place like that, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna look up. Like I ain't gonna look what's happening out there because I will have a panic attack. So
Interesting.
but
Far less dangerous than downhill skating.
similar rush, oddly enough. It's like very, very similar adrenaline, like oh shit moments, but just like a little more contained, which is cool. But I mean, going from one to the other is a really big lifestyle change that's super weird because like, back in the past, we would be the homies like 12 hours a day outside doing shit, bouncing around, like just being active. And now it is a very like sedentary lifestyle. Like I wake up at like 9. I'll usually work till like 6 or 7 and I'll make dinner and I'll watch some TV. So that's like, the whole day inside. Not a lot of options otherwise because it's like if you want to do shit, if you want to be productive, if you want to make strides in that career, you have to be doing that shit all the
So
time.
when you used to be like super good at free riding and you were spending like 6 hours a day free riding outside,
Yeah.
now you're just spending 6 hours a day
At the computer.
at the with blue light glasses on.
No.
What?
No blue light glasses on. Just full raw dogging my display.
Brightness 1000.
Bro, that's how you wake up in the morning. It's odd. Yeah, it's different. That's all I can really say. It's definitely like I miss being physically active because, after a day of skating, like you fall asleep pretty damn quick. You don't think about it. You're just like, cool. Like I did some shit with my body. This time it's like I'm up there trying to fall asleep thinking about things. I'm just like, what if I do this? And what if I do this? And then just like tweaking out thinking about the shit that you're making, which is.
And you've been listening to like hammered music all day. So your brain's just like been accelerating and decelerating for hours.
100%. Fueled by caffeine and rage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good time.
What's the most like satisfying moment when you've been DJing?
I mean, playing music you make is really cool, and having it be well received. Like,
What's poorly received music look like from your perspective? Does someone
definitely-
just like right when like you go to like do a beat drop, all you hear is someone in the audience like, this sucks. Just like,
it's not quite as bad, but it's definitely more like
what's worse, eating shit by yourself longboarding or like eating shit up on stage with a bunch of people watching?
I mean,
Have you done that before? Have you played a song and you just watch people just like kind of look out of the corner of their eyes like,
I mean, I've had moment like DJing in itself, like when you fuck up, people know because it's like it's kind of hard to fuck up. Like technology like does you a lot of favors. Like shit, like if you were smart about it, all your grids can match up. There's no like margin of error except for human fault. So like if you fuck up a transition or the gear malfunctions and shit cuts out, that's when you have a problem. And that's when you hear like the air gets sucked out of the room and you hear like, oh, like sometimes that shit ain't your fault. Like I once broke a I don't know how to explain it. It's virtually like all of these decks are linked to the mixer, right? And so there is a Ethernet hub that links them all. I somehow broke the Ethernet hub by jumping on the stage, and it like snapped and everything emergency aired out. So like I'm also the person running that same stage, so I have to like figure out the tech and troubleshoot it, and also like get on the mic and be like, "Yo, technical difficulties," and, like. Then
So you're telling me you'd rather crash on your longboard?
100%. Like 2 people will see that, not 150. Like that shit's awkward.
I don't know. Not if Kyle films it. You got some pretty big reach over here.
Still, like that shit's, and it's just I don't know. It's awkward, especially when you're in charge in any capacity. Like when it's my shows and I'm the person like out there.
Oh,
Trying
you
to,
put
like,
everything on. So like you produced it as well.
Yeah, like I can't call a stagehand because I'm the fucking stagehand. So like,
Oh, that's the worst. Okay,
so
that would be annoying.
that shit can be really trying. But like otherwise, what I meant originally is like you just play, like you make a song, you pour like days into something, and you're like, oh, I think this is cool, and then you play it, and you watch a bunch of people go get a drink, and you're like, shit. This wasn't as cool as I thought.
I was in my basement too much.
Yeah, one flew over the cuckoo nest type shit. But like, I don't know.
But I mean, yeah, that's gonna happen.
It's few and far between, which is cool. Like, and that's the last year and a half not playing a single show has been really weird in that sense because like I've written a shitload of music and I have no idea how it'll be perceived live. So I'm going to the first event with like a bunch of weird shit written, and I'm like, all right, could be like all W's, could be a few L's. Let's see what happens. Like, shit.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting. So when like you're putting these sounds together, you have some like, I've been to a couple of your shows.
Yeah.
They are wonderful. I will say, not my typical cup of tea.
It's not your brand.
It's not my brand. And I'm also like standing around listening to music. Not my brand. Just not my brand.
It's not your shit.
No, but like I show up to support you and I'm like, damn, a lot of your friends show up and they're wonderful. They're a little weirder than I am. So I typically like to crush about 42 beers and then start talking up
go figure it out.
Yeah, and then go figure out your friends. Be like, what's up with you? Like, trust fund? Okay, cool. I tell me more. Like,
what's your thing? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you have a job? Do they have jobs wherever you're from?
I'm actually a freelancer. Like, I do work on my own terms.
I'm an entrepreneur. I don't know if you saw my SoundCloud. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super fun to see like your group of it's weird to look out and see like a bunch of people support you and be like, oh my goodness, like that is so cool to see like people getting behind the thing that you're doing. And that was one of the things early on. You're like, hey, dude, I'm filming the show. Would you mind coming? I'm like, hell yeah, this would be great. And I remember seeing it and be like, holy shit, like this is really cool. While the music may not be my thing, like the amount of energy that's in that room is pretty entertaining. It's
fun to watch.
Like it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like it's fun to watch. Like is and purely as a people watching person. Like I don't know about like getting into like the mix, but seeing like 150 people at your show just going ape shit and dancing, and then just being like, like wow,
this is interesting.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like. My friend sat alone in his basement. Now these people are like really excited about it.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. I don't know. That's kind of what sucked me into it from the beginning, was like just the way that those kind of shows worked and just how.
And the pressure, dude. It's weird to feel music. It's like a great way to put it. Like when like you're like standing next to a speaker and it's just like sucking the life out of you, and like it's hard to breathe. You're just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like if you've never been to one of these shows, like going to one. Just like once you get into a small room and they start hammering that bass, like it is almost like uncomfortable where you're like, I can't breathe. Like this is
a weird experience.
It's a weird experience.
Bring your ear protection. I wear earplugs all the time because you will lose your ear.
Yeah, that's something I didn't know as well. It's like people like it's like, oh, it's all this loud music. It's like, yeah, but most of them are wearing earplugs, and you're like, wait, what? It's like, dude, you're gonna hear the music anyway. You want to like feel the bass hits and everything, but like you can still hear all the rest of the music with earplugs. You're just not getting blasted.
100%. I mean, a lot of those shows are mixed super poorly, like straight up, it's either people who run a club that may not care enough or like people who are not getting paid enough to care enough. And like, it's good to be protected on that shit because it's really hard on your ears. I didn't wear earplugs for a minute, and like, I definitely don't have the world's best hearing anymore, which is not cool.
It's called tinnitus.
Dude, luckily I don't have that. Like, I get like ringing very, very occasionally, which is cool, but that shit sucks. I got friends with that shit.
Yeah. What's the, I guess, okay. So Congratulations. You're making progress. Hopefully you get super famous so I can come leech off you.
So you can come.
Yeah, we'll hit the fucking 180. No more you leeching off me.
You can bump my rider.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. I don't see any green M&Ms.
My friend specifically requested a veggie tray and green M&Ms, but he's not going to eat the veggie tray. He just wants the M&Ms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just me with a wrist rocket flinging broccoli across the room.
That'd be pretty funny. That'd be sick.
So I'm super stoked.
Thank
It's called
you.
Quackson.
That's me.
Yep. And then you also said like October is when you're going to be.
October is when I'm playing the Gorge. I got my first show back in the Seattle area on July 8th at Trinity Nightclub, which will be fun.
Get vaxxed, come out.
Get vaxxed, come out, negative COVID test if that's not your thing, but I'm pretty sure they'll probably require vaccination. I don't know. Not my club, not my problem. But
Show up in a full face helmet by TSG. You'll be good to go.
you'll be safe.
Yeah.
You'll be safe as hell. But yeah, I got that. I got some dates out of state I'm working out right now. I've got some dates locally I'm working out right now. Cool shit. It's exciting.
Gee, I'm stoked.
Thank you.
I'm super stoked for you. So, what's the worst fall you've ever taken on a longboard?
Honestly, the Giants Head cracked rib is up there for sure. That sucked, and it wasn't. It was a really deflating fall where like I literally ran off my board, and like one of those times you shouldn't have run off your board. You should have just tumbled, but I just ran forward and just directly to like my sternum.
On one of them like roots in the road. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like 30 to flat on your rib. I'll crack a rib.
Yeah,
So
they'll do it every time.
I'll do it every goddamn time. That sucked. I mean, a fall off Alpental was pretty bad. One where we were filming a 5-mile video and I slid out in one of the corners and almost flew off the rock cliff.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty terrible. I like caught myself on a rock about to fall like 100 feet down through more rocks. And I just like caught myself at the peak of it and pulled myself back up. That was pretty terrible and terrifying. Shit. I'm trying to think of some other like bad ones. I think one of the times we went filming, one of the days I remember I specifically just destroyed myself. And I think it was the day we filmed for the B series. And Sam and I were skating like Furburger and something and scoliosis. That day I like fell.
Oh, dude. You ate shit at scoliosis.
And I ate shit at Furburger to start the day.
Yeah.
Like I ate shit
like first run,
like dislocated my shoulder and was like, okay, cool. Cause I had fucked up shoulder problems too, especially at that time. And like first run of the day, ran off my board, this shoulder out, pops out of socket, like first thing. And I was like, oh, we're filming a part all day. Like
we just drove like an hour and a half with like the homies
at
to get
6
the
in the morning, like
Yeah.
early in the day to film shit. And I remember I fucked everything up first thing in the day. And then we just kept filming spots. And then we ended the day with scoliosis. And I fell hundreds of feet down 28% grade, shoulder out of socket, just rolling.
I don't know if it's Bales and Fails or Platinum B-sides.
I think there's part of it in B-sides too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that day sucked.
Yeah, that day, some days hit different.
Some days hit different. Some days you walk away walking different.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you got smacked upper right-hand corner B-sides.
That was definitely a pretty big L.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, there's not a whole lot of really bad ones.
Skip deep in the video. Let's just find this crash, just because we've. I guess we'll just start here. Yo. Oh, this has got to be the right. Yeah, I think this is the section.
yeah,
This
I
is
think this is it.
scoliosis. This is Sam absolutely destroying. It's easy on platinums because you just don't stop.
Yeah, you just don't stop.
He's going like 5 miles an hour and he's just like hanging dangle. It's amazing how not steep that road looks.
It's fucked up, dude. I hate seeing videos of it because I'm like, this ain't it. Like,
you go there and skate it and like be like, yeah, dude, it's not that gnarly. Like
this road also doesn't look as steep as it is either. Because that road's steep as hell and it's really nice. Back when the seatbelt grab was hot.
Yeah. Oh, dog, dude, that was a huge one. This
fast.
slide's also ridiculous. You had those like super awesome low angle because like you had those amazingly big 180s.
The ganked ones.
Yeah,
The ones
so you
that
could
were like, is he gonna fall?
Yeah. Exactly. Like you could do them super. Yeah, this is where I
Fucked myself first run of the day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you got unhappied really fast.
And you can tell in the way I'm skating this, because like Sam and I can keep up together just
Mm.
fine, but like I am clearly lagging.
Oh, you got to go back. I think it's in the beginning part of the
I think it
video.
was in the beginning. Dude, we
You
walked Luke's Rash so much that day. Like you were, you were. I can't.
Yeah,
think
we
of
were
a
making a video.
I can't think of a PC way to say it besides you were a slave driver that day. You're just like,
Look
"Ooh,"
at the amount of thane on the road.
from platinum wheels. You were just like, dude, you guys aren't getting it.
Like I want big slides. I don't think you understand how big. Yeah. Is this? I think it's in this part because it goes from this, then it switches, and then there's the clip of you two.
Yeah.
Right
This
there,
one.
dude. Yeah, arm out, unhappy.
Super unhappy.
Yo, that's a
Oh.
fat, nasty slide.
But
This one, I mean, Devin,
I'm gonna hurricane that next time I go there. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't think I can toe side that. I think I'm gonna safety hurricane that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. We always called hurricanes the sit down pendies that people do now.
The absolute wave. Look at those wheels just knots.
Yeah, this is scoliosis as well. Just
the classic.
Oh,
That doesn't get better anytime you watch that. You
No.
know it's happening. And you're
You're
just
like,
"Fuck, dude."
this is where you broke. Like,
Yeah.
Yo, go back. We got to talk about that clip.
Also, that switch
I mean,
check does
dude.
not suck.
Yeah, so Sam has that like super hella good style. Look at this.
Extra controlled.
And then
here
you
I
just
go.
you come in
Backing it
ass
up.
first.
like a bull through a
But look
chop
at this
shop.
switch. The switch toe is way better than the
Way
regular.
cleaner than the regular one.
I mean, the regular one was fat. This
was
type of
fucked.
slide is like, like how did you do this? Also, this is why you buy platinum wheels. Look how 90. I mean, that actually wasn't as
I don't
90.
think I ever flat spotted a set of platinum wheels, which is a testament in itself.
I mean, yeah, they'd last forever.
I think it's also important to note that I snowboard goofy and I skateboard regular.
Michael, the employee, does that as well.
Such a weird thing.
Yeah, it's super annoying because like longboarding, I don't care, but snowboarding, our boards cross.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're on the lift all the time. I'm like, you fucking asshole. Just pick a side. It's like you can't snowboard well or longboard well. Maybe it's.
Maybe you're going the wrong way
No.
both ways.
He's a great snowboarder. He's a great longboarder. He's just, it's just tough. Oh,
See, that's what I'm saying. Look how much we walked that road.
dude, yeah, you guys were tired.
We were haggard,
You're
dog.
tired. This is back when I would make you guys wake up at like 6 a.m. and then like we'd go skate for a bunch and then like we'd come back for like a little bit of food and then like back out until like the sunset.
Dude, it was like a 30-minute break. It was like working at a department store. It was like, yo, I bought everyone teriyaki. We're gonna sit. We're gonna watch one episode of something, and then we're back out there. And
Yeah.
you're like, sick. I can
Yeah.
barely walk already. Like
Yo, but the videos are good.
the videos are fire.
The videos are good.
Dude, it came out great. Especially like some of those like random raw runs from when we used to like
What's a random raw run that comes in?
like the one like Morgan and I's buddy ripping raw run. Like when we were skating that area, we took a few trips out to,
Kalama, Washington. bitches.
Kalama, Washington. Okay, cool. We're going spots now. Fuck it. Go out to Kalama. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah, go to Kalama.
That road is such bad pavement now. It's not.
All of them are terrible.
Dude,
pavement.
none of them were good then.
None of them were good in the first place.
Yeah, we
Those
didn't-
roads suck. But do they film good?
Yeah, they look great on camera. They just ride terrible. Buddy ripping raw run. Dude, I think this is one of those runs that you guys ate shit on.
I ate shit like our first version of it. Cause I was riding Atlas trucks.
Oh yeah, this is the other one. This is I think this is one part. I think this is either China Grove or
I think it's China Grove.
I think it's China Grove or
The one that's aggressively long.
yeah. This is like the top. So this road is as good as it looks. It's chip sealed.
It's chip seals. For
It's
sure.
really bad chip seal. And Jackson's on Atlas trucks. And in case you don't know, they're great trucks for a lot of things, but ripping chip seal ain't one of them. Dude, it's
Anything
Dude, this is where is it this one? No, it's the next one. I think it's the next one. Yeah, you eat shit.
I don't eat shit in this one, but I ate shit that day
Yeah,
on this
yeah.
run. I torched myself on one of these because look
Dude.
at that ball pivot do its thing.
Dude, a lot of range of
A
motion.
lot of range of motion, which if you're
Great for
doing
free
If
riding.
you're doing carbs, great.
Dude, these roads were savage. I can't believe that you're bombing down this because like I took you guys to these roads and I was like, yeah, you're gonna bomb this, right? And you guys were like, yeah, okay, we're gonna do it. Like I was like, I can't believe they're gonna do it. And then like you guys would do it. Like I can't believe he's making us do it. And I'm always like, yeah, they're doing it. Like because this was literally I woke you guys up super early in the morning. I was like, yo, we're gonna drive like 2.5 hours south. We're gonna hit like 15,
A lot of roads.
yeah, 20 roads in a day. I don't know what any of them look like. Here are all like the pins that I have.
And you would just show us the curves on Google Maps and we'd be like, sick, fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah, let's go.
And I would say 2/3 of them were pretty much not skatable, but we would skate them anyway. Like they were like really fucked up chip seal, really open corners with hidden driveways, like not ideal circumstances by any stretch of the imagination for sure.
Yo, I always forget, this is a sweet run.
Yeah, I can't believe I could keep up with Morgan back in that time.
I think we put him in an extra large t-shirt to slow him down.
You probably did.
You probably
You got to
did.
give him a handicap.
Yeah. We're just like, Morgan, here, you got to ride Jackson's flat spotted wheels.
Have fun.
Yeah,
figure
maybe
it
it's
out.
just that, I mean, you're fast though. Like, let's call it what it is. Like, you're not slow, but Morgan's just really good.
Morgan's just aggressively good, and he was like doing downhill seriously at this point in time. I was purely fucking around for the shit of it.
Dude, you were like a plastic straw. You were just getting washed up at that point.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh man, Morgan's like, yeah, Jackson, get in front. Now it's time for you to get bumped.
Well, he loves that shit. He loves like riding with someone he kind of knows enough. Like he's down with this. I like when I was listening to Rain's podcast and Rain was like, I didn't want to do that. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. I don't care. Kill me. Let's go.
Yeah, I think Rain was on this trip as well.
I think he was actually. Yeah, because there's that picture of all three of us through. I don't think it was this run, but it was another run out there. The one through all of us through the right hand bend.
Yeah, dude, I love it. I can't believe how good the roads were down there. Like most importantly, like I can't believe that like there were that many roads that were that downhill.
Yeah, that downhill and that like interesting terrain wise. Like the pavement sucked on most of them. Like there's the only one that I think was partially good was Geronimo, and it was good for like 2/3 of it. A third of it was sus as hell. But like I don't know. I really would love to go back out there, but it's also just so much like grip and rip kind of downhill. Like kind of more interested in corners I can.
Yeah, I'd rather go
around.
10 miles an hour slower on gooder pavement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With bigger corners that are not just like, I could fall into the other lane right now, or I could go skate something with a corner I can slide into for fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So now that I've got you on the podcast, maybe you can tell me the story of breaking the deck on the house that we were renting.
I was so pissed they talked about that before I did. So, for context at the time, it was Nate, myself, Devin Dotson, and I think CJ was living there. Or wait, no. I think it was just you, me, and Devin at that time. Because Miller hadn't moved in yet. Miller moved when Devin moved out. It was 4th of July, and
I was out of town.
You were out of town, and we were like, cool, we're going to throw an aggressive party at our house with way too many people, and Dad's never going to know. And, well, things continued to get out of hand. TJ Jude jumped off of the 2-story deck on top of my car for no good reason. Like, there was no reason. He jumped off the deck onto my car and rolled on top of the rocket box, which was Eddie King's. Sorry, Eddie. And he just continued. He was fine. Then the homie dabbed butter.
The butter dab.
The butter dab was really like the staple of the night. You ever smell popcorn but coming out of a D-nail? Like, it's pretty funny. He said it tasted like popcorn too, which is.
It makes sense.
But
The
then
best popcorn's all butter.
Then there was like 10 of us on the deck for like, 2 people, maybe 3 people at most.
Yeah, it was a sketchy waterlogged deck with a bunch of like rot.
And there was like 3 or 4 people leaning on the banister. I think someone was standing on the banister at the time, and it just snapped right off the house, just like that.
Wait, like what happened? Because I wasn't there. You guys never.
There was like 4 or 5 people on the banister, and it just came off. Like someone just like drunkenly leaned back on the banister, and it literally just fell off the house. Like, no shit.
Did like people fall off the deck and like?
No, someone was like up on the banister and they jumped off back onto the deck, which surprisingly held that many people. There was more people on there earlier too. I think we probably caused some like previous damage, and then someone just like lean back a little too hard.
Lean back against that like wall, and then just like the wall came out.
Yeah, then the whole wall came out, and we all freaked out because we're like, "Oh shit, Dad's gonna be mad."
Yeah,
Like,
Dad's going no.
and we're young. We're
like 21 at the time because I had to be like 26.
something like that. And
I mean, you were old enough to get liquor when I wasn't there, so you had to be 21.
someone was.
Yeah.
I think I may have been 20 at that point in time. Don't tell the cops.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then the next morning, luckily, I had friends that were there that worked construction and like home improvement. And they're like, "We're gonna go to Home Depot. We're gonna get some more beer. We're gonna figure this out." And they pulled up at like 5 p.m. Fix that shit, and we're like, "There's just like one screw through it. Like you'll never know." The one screw. I thought you never knew until like I heard about it like 2-3 years later.
Someone else told me way before the podcast came out about like the deck breaking and some shit. Like I don't know if it was TJ or Kyle or somebody like that, but
Kyle's
it wasn't you or Devin. It was like someone in the periphery that like spilled the beans and like sold you guys out. But at the time, that was when I had moved out and like left the keys under the doormat. It was like peace.
Yeah, that's when we were trying to make it look like we could get our damage deposit back, and then you had this realization like we're not getting this back.
Yeah,
like there's no way in hell. And then we just continued to do what we did there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At one point we had like that's when Nick and I Nick that won our
one of your contests.
Yeah, we just drew his name for the Patreon. So he's gonna be getting 2 sets of wheels from Grip Tape and a T-tool. But yeah, Man Hands Hansen, he helped me throw away so much stuff as we moved out of that house. Because I moved out of that house into the van and then drove across the country. So I was just like out.
Well, and then you came back and you helped move Miller and I out. Because Miller and I were living there when you were moved out for the first time. Because you went on a road trip and then you're like, yeah, we're not going to renew our lease. And then you like moved us all in the same day because we both went to my parents' house. And we filled the Omen van after the road trip. And we just continued.
No, it had to have been before.
You sure?
It had to have been before because I remember talking to the landlord and being in Canada, and he was like, "The house is this," and I was like, "Dude, the house is clean. You guys weren't here for 5 years. Like, it is what it is. You're not going to give me my damage deposit back, but like, you're not going to get me to do another thing." And he was like, "You need to show up right now." And I was like, "I'm in Canada. Like, I am in Calgary right now. Like, you have any idea how far away I am from you? Like, there's no way. There's no way this is going to happen." And yeah, nothing has ever happened since, which is great because
don't have a mark on your credit score. You don't got nothing.
No, dude, credit scores are great. But at the same time, like, what was he really gonna say? Just like, yeah, the shanty town with the deck that fell off and like the windows that leaked and like the no heating in the house.
I was gonna say the no heat in the basement.
Like, the no heat in the basement. The like leaking.
Yeah,
the washing machine that would like, or the washer and dryer that would like leak everywhere and then like flooded, and then like the time that it rained super hard and it flooded the garage. And like, dude, that house was a shanty.
The show was a shit show, and I lived in the garage at first for like the first 2 or 3 months amidst everyone's trash, and just lived in the garage. It's pretty tight.
Yeah, dude, what a shit show that place was.
Yeah,
dude, the best though. Oh my god,
those are some funny times.
If we go, I mean, I was just talking with Allison about like, she's like, what would your dream be? Because we're looking at fun stuff, and I was like, I just want like a big shanty town where like all my friends can live on it, and like just like go back to the good old days, just like driving over like just hundreds of empty beers in the driveway to get to and from like the front door.
Well, dude, that shit was so sick because in the summer, like 6 or 7 people would come live with us. Like sometimes at a time, sometimes not.
Yeah, it was like, people were always coming in.
Transplants from miscellaneous places would come hang out and skate in the house.
Mike Shine from South Africa came.
Or
Jeremy
like
Shum.
Jeremy Shum.
Yeah,
Parker.
Parker from Idaho.
Like,
Fitz from San Diego.
Everyone just came and lived there for a minute. It was sick because, like, we were all working adults.
Jose de Acaza from Ecuador.
100%.
Wow.
We all were working. So, like, we'd work at the shop all day, and then we'd get home, and there'd be, like, 6 degenerates on the couch, like, yo, you want to go skate and, like, do some shit? And we're like, yeah. What have you been doing all day? They're like, this. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah. And away we go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Dude, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
So, like, when you were in that phase, like you were still working at Motion Boardshop.
100%.
And I was not working at Motion Boardshop.
You were not?
So Motion Boardshop and I had a falling out a long time ago. Like, what was that for you? Because right when I kind of stepped away, you stepped into Motion Boardshop, I would say.
Yeah, the timing was pretty
good for you.
pretty good for me. And I mean, I don't know. It was a changing of the guard, and it also just kind of, how do I say this well? It went downhill. Like, I will fully admit that I definitely helped put that generation of Motion Boardshop in its grave. It wasn't my fault, but I was the enabler in this situation.
I was the captain of the sinking ship.
I was the captain of the sinking ship.
The ship was going down. I just so happened to be named captain at the
Yeah,
time.
and it was going down for a good 3 years because I worked in Motion Boardshop, the older generation, from probably 15 to 21, maybe 22, but probably 21. I think was the year that I stopped working there, and the year that it got
your age,
Yeah.
not like this has got to be like a couple. Like what is it like?
2017 was probably the last year I worked there, if I remember correctly.
It's like 2014 to 2017. Yeah.
Yeah, probably 2013 because I think I started working at the original Aurora location when I was like 15. Gang money. But yeah, when you left, like for goodsies, because you were always kind of a transient at the same time, because you would go do Seattle ski and shit during the winter.
The winter, yep.
And so you would always go do that, and there was a vacancy to fill at that time, even though there wasn't much to do about longboarding in the winter, or paddleboarding, or kiteboarding. There's nothing to do. So that's Christmas lights.
Oh, you ever do Christmas lights with Jason?
I did the prefab, but definitely not the installation.
Yo. Okay, side note. This is gonna the person who owned Motion Boardshop before me used to do Christmas lights in the wintertime. And so like you'd inevitably get like sucked into some sort of like Christmas light manufacturing, whether that's making sure all the bulbs work or being dumb enough to volunteer to like go up on these ladders. And I always thought like, oh, it's not that bad. I'll just go hang some Christmas lights on some houses.
Yeah.
Wrong. The only people who were paying the money that our boss at the time was collecting are the people that live on like the sides of ice, like literal glaciers and like frozen waterfalls. And they're like 12-story castles are just like, yo, I need lights around the outside. And you're always just like, what the fuck? Like, dude, I remember hanging Christmas lights on like a 3-story house in the rain. The entire roof was mossy, and there was like one way to cut across this deck. And right when we got there, Jason was like, yo, you can't walk across their deck. You have to walk on like the mossy, shitty shingles because like these people are loaded and like they'll just throw like a total fit if we get like dirty stuff on their deck. And it's like we had to like carry these big old like just huge coils of like Christmas lights up wet ladders, across slippery roofs, and then up more wet ladders. And then like you'd be on like the top rope. And I took a photo and uploaded it one time, and it was like me on like the 3rd story of this like house looking down, and just remember being like, this is not worth it. And so yeah, I stopped working there. But that's when you were working. And unfortunately, like Motion Boardshop was going on the when I was working there, not that I had anything good to do with it. I just so happened to be the person who filled out the Excel sheet order forms that were like, please, sir, all of your switchblades.
100%.
Because that was when like the switchblade, the Nemesis, the 9-to-5, the Wolf Shark, the Tomahawk, the like Avenger, the Hellcat, like all of those boards were just like the most cutting edge, and we're selling out all the time. That's when Comet was making a bunch of really cool boards, and so like things were just selling, and people were just flat spotting wheels, and like it was just a beautiful time.
Yeah, and I came at the end of that
when it was slowing down, and then there was some. Just the money wasn't going back into Motion Boardshop, I think is the best way to put it.
Yeah, I don't think the money was going back, and I also don't think it would have made sense for it to go back at that point in time because shit just was not doing well. Like makes and models of most boards were staying on the shelves for a real long time, and the industry wasn't doing great. And I just happened to be there then, and I made a bunch of videos and I did a bunch of fun shit with Motion Boardshop, but it was on the gradual decline from when I helmed the ship till it passed on to now, till it got reincarnated. But it was cool. I mean, I enjoyed the hell out of that experience. They also were getting into a bunch of different ventures, i.e., screen printing, stickers, pizza,
coffee.
coffee. So, it was a cool grab bag of like shit. And
working at Motion Boardshop when like the coffee store was next door and you could just get discounted fucking breakfast burritos every day. Dude.
And dank coffee and like,
Yeah, dank coffee. Like it was a damn near free coffee and like unlimited $3 breakfast burritos.
Yeah.
And just it was the best. Yeah,
it was an era. For sure.
That was honestly like I feel like, man, working at Motion Boardshop's pretty okay, but like it would be a lot better if I owned a burrito store directly next to the shop. And I was like, yo, you're looking a little tired. Go over, get yourself a burrito.
Coke and Americano.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so it was a great experience. I just feel bad for like how it ended up playing out. Not like I could have done much. You know, it wasn't my business besides the fact that I was like pseudo in charge of things. But at the end of the day, like, ain't my checkbook, ain't my calls. You can only do so much. You can only say so much. You can only make so many videos. You can only tap into a market that wasn't doing as hot without as many resources to do so. So, but it was cool.
Tough. It was tough for you, but I mean, what a great opportunity. That's like one of the things that I always look back on, like, regardless of how I liked it or hated it. Like, what a cool thing to do.
100%.
I was just like, oh, dude, I'm gonna go skating today with like the homies and film it. Like that was super fun. So, like, when did you notice that you were like mildly popular on the internet? Like, are there any memes that come to mind where you're just like, oh shit? Like,
I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot for sure. The OG Quackson meme is definitely great, and that's where my artist name derives from, which is a funny, stupid story. But
tell it.
Well, so my friends at the time were getting into building websites specifically so you could play games during school to beat like the filter of the internet they have at school, because like obviously all the websites you would play games on are like blocked because you shouldn't be doing that shit at school. So they were making their own websites at the time, and the one that they made to play games on, I will not say the name because it is pretty illicit, but the cursor for the loading page of the website was my face on a duck. And like, is one
how old are your friends at this time?
16 or 17.
Dude, these are the future Elon Musks of our generation.
Dude, conniving and smart. And
so a little duck icon with your face.
Yeah,
that's the cursor.
And like a picture from when I was like 12 or 13 with long greasy hair. Yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it. That was the cursor. And so like, and it wasn't just one of those.
That's a little bit more of a goose, to be honest.
Tomato, goddamn potato. But like
tomato, potato.
That was the cursor, and it wasn't one of those normal cursors. It was one that like created like a trail behind it.
Oh yeah, it had like it had like the after shadow. Yeah. So
it was that all over the website. The website is down. It has an illicit name. I will not say because of reasons.
You can say we'll bleep it.
Oh, no way. It's probably knowing your group of friends really like no words.
If you want to bleep it, it was.
That's.
I got you.
And
nice.
So that's where that nickname came about. I took it as an artist alias. I can brand this, and it's a stupid name I've already been called. But besides that, there was a lot of like funny, dumb memes from the time. There's one of the Motion Boardshop videos where Ethan put at the end of it "in loving memory."
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
We got pseudo deep shit because everyone thought I was actually dead, which pretty funny to laugh about.
What
now.
video was it?
Road Rippers.
Road Rippers.
I'm pretty sure the end of it says "in loving memory,"
and it's like you with some dumb face, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's super good. And so, like, what happened?
Internet wasn't stoked. The internet
that was the burgeoning of woke culture.
Yes, they were like, "Yo,"
that was the fleggling steps of woke culture.
They're like, "Yo, I'm actually worried about this kid. Like, is he alive?" And we're like, "No, he just made a stupid face, dog. Like, I don't know what." And the way that Ethan sold it was even funnier because like it's wax and gels, but Jackson's still alive, and I'm like, bro.
Wow. Do you still know the phone number for the shop?
206-372-5268.
Yeah, buddy.
Damn straight, baby.
Yeah, once you remember, you don't forget.
You don't forget that. Yeah.
My name's Jackson Wells. Here I am at the shop.
Here I am with a huge bowl cut.
Oh, that's a fun road.
Oh, that was a fun road.
Oh, dude, this is from the video I filmed.
Yeah.
You guys just
back when Ethan was appropriating footage.
What a dick. He probably got paid for that video, too.
Oh, he definitely did.
Oh, that was my footage.
Love you, Ethan.
Ethan, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh well, he got a job at Loaded from it, so
He did a damn good
what's
job.
up? Yeah, I was his stepping stone.
Yeah.
Ethan Cochard used to live with me.
He did. I remember those
Oh
days
my
fondly.
goodness.
Because Ethan used to work at the shop, and we'd just go kick it at your place after and then go skate.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Wow. And so you got in some serious shit for that.
Motion Boardshop did. I did not.
Mm.
'Cause they were like, damn, they're making fun of Jackson's death. Like, that's pretty weird. But I don't know.
It'd be funnier now.
Oh, God. Way
Yo,
better. And
do
then-
that Call Me Maybe video.
No. God
Dude.
fucking damn it.
What do you mean?
Jamie,
Dude,
do not pull that up.
dude, just go back. Yeah,
It's one of the first.
it's one of those. Yeah, the one right down from that. Oh my God.
Okay, backstory on
Max,
this
did you
shit.
pause this? Max, did you
Max
so
did me
dirty on this?
So dirty. And it,
He
like,
got you so dirty. You were so stoked for this edit, and I remember you watching it for the first time in front of me, and just like me shitting my pants, and you just be like, oh, "Who didn't do that?" Dude, like, you're just like speechless and so upset. But like, so tell me more. So Max just
This was
shit
like,
on your dreams.
he took a ginormous dump on my hopes, dreams, and aspirations by this video. And at the time, we were loosely joking about it. And I was like, because the song Call Me Maybe was a viral sensation. At
Carly Rae Jepsen.
viral. This was like when viral things were going crazy on the internet back in the day when there wasn't a lot to choose from. Like, this shit was crazy. And he was like, we'll do an edit to that, like do all this goofy shit. And I thought it was a LARP. Like, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like, I didn't think he was going to do it for real. I thought it was going to be a cool skate edit. And then the next day he pulls up at the shop. He's like, yo, I'm done. Oh no.
Oh.
And then he showed it to everybody. And I just,
And everyone was like, obviously this is a win. Like, fuck what Jackson says. Oh yeah, dude. The way he filmed it too is like you in the border, like in love.
Like in love.
Yeah.
Bro, I showed this to my girlfriend the other day, and she was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, you know what, man? I can't really explain
I've
this
never
to you.
seen this. This is great.
It's so good,
It's so bad.
dude. Oh my God. Yeah. He did you
He did me
so
so
dirty. He got
Max,
you
I
so
love you,
good.
dearly, and I cherish these
Is
times.
this all on Mercer?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Go back. Was that like a glove down to pop-up slide?
Not intentionally. That was probably a stand up to glove down to stand back up.
Look at this. Boop. Yeah, right? Like,
It wasn't intentional. That shit don't
I mean,
count.
I know it's not intentional, but people do that shit now and claim it's intentional.
Fair.
People were like, yo, dude, this is a pop-up slide. It's dope. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. Seems like a stand-up slide with more steps.
Yeah, seems like a stand up slide with a fuck up in between.
No, you don't get it. It's tight. The caliber guys do it. You're like, okay. This is another cool hill.
It was fun.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I was thinking about going and skating in Mercer Island today, but I just was like, damn, if I'm going to go get kicked out by those neighbors. We got to go back to that hill, by the way, Kyle. I'm like, I'm going to go get kicked out by neighbors. The board. Wow. What are you on truck-wise? Are those Omens or?
Yes, those are Omen precision.
Dude, I still
Right.
have a set of them.
Absolutely destroyed.
That's the thing.
How hard did you bend them?
Like not
So
even,
hard?
Like not even funny. I torched trucks. That's because I would buy like the shitty mid-tier precision trucks. Like, no offense, Radical Talons, Omen Precisions,
Mm-hmm.
Bear Precisions, and I would just eviscerate them. I would do early grabs off of jumps and shit. I would early grab everything because I'd skate around and sometimes you're gonna pop an early grab in a place you probably shouldn't.
Yeah. Dude, and those were so janky too. Those things were like out of the softest metal of all time.
Yeah.
That was super bad. What about the other one that I think was Cody hit you with that super good edit for 5 Mile?
Oh, the one with TJ? The one with the cops and shit?
Yeah. What's that one called?
I don't remember. I know it's on their Vimeo.
5 Mile Longboards?
Yeah, I'm sure that shit's still up. I think
Dude.
Monkey also helped film that. That was one of his like first videos he filmed.
Yeah. That's, dude. Monkey. I was just talking with him the other day.
You were?
Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, dude, I talk to him all the time.
Yeah, rightfully so.
He good people. He good people.
He a young legend. I was like, I was nervous you'd ask for a podcast of all three of us because I was like, I don't need both of y'all. Like, I need one of you. I've been joking this whole time. Like, I'm ready for my 3 hours of getting roasted. And if Monkey was in the other seat, I'm just like,
No.
I don't think
No, I don't think you got roasted too bad.
Not yet.
No. I don't have too much to.
Oh,
Why would I shit on you? You're such a nice person.
just because there's funny things to roast. You and Monkey have a great affinity for it. And it's
Well, I mean, dude, you just take. I mean, no offense, like you just can't defend against it.
no.
Like you just get so owned, and then like right when you start defending against one of us, the other person just
Comes
sweeps
in
your
with-
legs.
dude, yeah, they got the
It's like
counterattack.
you're getting tabletopped all the time.
Yeah.
You try and defend against one person, the other person like crouches down behind you, and then I push you over.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we've been super mean.
We've been super mean.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've definitely gone for the feelings a number of times. But it's a bummer that so many people have like, yeah, the one time that it was like, yeah, I got called out and so did Monkey. Like I saw these two dudes at Maryhill. They were just super mean and like gave like the location. It's like, wait a second, like you came up to us at like 2 a.m. at the campsite and like asked to sit on the bench of our U-Haul and like we were like sleeping in it and we were like, no, you can't sit there. And that's what you're gonna bring up. It's like, dude, sorry, you can't sit in the back of our U-Haul. We're in our hammocks right
Yeah,
now.
we're sleeping right now. Could you please fuck off?
Yeah, I'm eating a 5-pound bag of Sour Patch Kids because I don't know how to plan. You get to Maryhill, like, oh, I have no food. Ooh, 5-pound bag of Sour Patch Kids and a 24-pack of Rainier. Dude, I'm set for the weekend.
That's my caloric intake.
Yeah, exactly.
You mad, bro? I think was it.
Oh, yeah, definitely you mad, bro. Oh,
8 years ago.
Sorry, you want to argue with me about the law? I'm not arguing. You are arguing. In about 2 seconds, you're going to get more than you've argued. What did I even shut up? What did I do? Keep your mouth shut.
is that Cody?
No, that's Monkey.
Oh, that is Monkey.
That is Monkey.
Weird. A police officer yelling at Monkey? That's super weird.
That's a bizarre.
And him, of
circumstance.
course, just being like, what did I do? It's like, dude. One of my favorite stories of all time is him talking himself into jail. Most people talk their way out of a bad one. Like, he just straight up was like, nope. Like, I don't care what this cop says. Like, I'm just going to keep laying into him.
I also think for a different podcast, another funny story was our Giants head trip in the van.
Oh, dude. Yeah, no, we've talked about this thing needs to go a little bit longer because that would be another great time to talk about the Britannia story when I
Yeah.
drove it by myself.
Yeah, oh my god, I forgot.
That was-
I forgot about a linchpin in that story.
Yeah, it was such a fucking bad story. Oh my god. Maybe when we end the podcast, we'll just talk about. Yeah, we'll put that out for the Patreon subscribers.
Oh my god.
That's so, dude. Cody did a really good job filming. Is this when he made that crane?
Yes.
He like had that big ass crane.
This is when Cody, Dan, and Monkey were absolutely going crazy with filming, and they were getting really creative with it. This is right after I got grounded.
For what?
Another different podcast story.
What? Oh wow! Oh my god! That was.
You know what road that is, yeah?
Yeah, that's the salty spittoon, right?
Yeah, that's the salty spittoon, baby.
Sketchy.
This is
This is
uphill
Panty Raid.
look at Panty Raid. Yeah. Oh my
Dude, TJ and I got so
You guys got so buck nasty for a while. That was so.
because dude, we skated that road almost every day together. Like TJ went to the opposite high school with me, like 2 or 3 miles, and we became really good friends. And we're skating so frequently because we frequented the same spots, and we vibed. And so we got.
Where's
into a lot
this
of
is
trouble.
5 Mile or this is a
Chambers
Bay.
86A Street or City Slashers, baby.
Oh my god,
On a Phantom with arrows.
dude, on that back truck.
100%. Honestly, the Phantom's fun as hell to ride. I don't know why I rode it Switch so goddamn much, but
This nice directional board seems like it'd be bad backwards.
it looks like I'm gonna do that a lot. It was almost kind of cool though, because it pointed your foot in an interesting direction to switch.
Yeah, this path is still fun to skate.
Path is a W. Is it still as grippy?
No,
Thank God.
dude, the last time I went there, I like hooned one all the way through that left. I
Damn.
definitely like did not. I did at no point through the corner felt like I was gonna come out of the corner safely. I was like, oh, dude, I'm just drifting out of control through this entire thing.
Yeah. This is another road in Tacoma. I think it's in like a weird part of North Tacoma.
Yeah, I think this is that like part of 5 Mile Drive. There's like a big left hairpin coming up. Yeah. Yeah. I skated this one time with Cody and he acted like it was super cool. And I was like, this shit's whack. I drove an hour to skate this. He was like, no, dude, it's super cool. I was like, dude, this sucks. It's a super good edit.
It was a fire edit, especially back in these
You
days.
are arguing. In about 2 seconds, you're gonna get more than you bargained. What did I even shut up? What did I do? Keep your mouth shut. You're arguing with me. I'm not arguing. I'm trying to talk to these men in an adult fashion. You're coming down here and I'm flapping your gums. You're pissing me off. Shut up. Thank you. Okay, guys, here's the deal. You ended up underneath of a car. It doesn't do anybody.
Dude, that's so TJ.
That's very TJ.
So that's the problem. Now, if I get a complaint about it, I have to come
Yeah, this dude seems like a super cool dude to hang out with on the weekend.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy for sure.
He's
That was back when Cody and Monkey were TJ and I's managers for skateboarding related things, and they were sometimes our liable adults at events.
wow.
Monkey had signed many a permission slip for me back in those days.
For longboarding events?
Yeah,
Dude.
100%. Monkey or Cody, both of them did for sure, which is a really funny thing to think.
I think I've signed your life away at Maryhill.
You definitely have.
Yeah.
I would, and like if my dad or like some form of member was not there and I didn't have a slip filled out in advance, I would just call up one of the homies and be like, "Yo, I need an adult. I'm 16 and I can't be liable for my own life."
Damn. That's a what a great edit. I'm so happy that that exists.
I know.
Because that, I mean, dude, good skating. You guys are ripping.
That was back in the day when TJ and I literally skated like at least a few times a week together. And we would just all, because like we skated those Richmond Beach hills to death.
Yeah,
like,
I was about to say, there got to be a point where like that. So at one point in that video, you guys were skating panty raid.
Yeah.
But like at one point in life, TJ like was just skating panty raid on like a double kick barefoot in pajamas, like
100%.
pretty regularly.
100%.
And we're just like, dude, what the hell? Like,
That's how he got good, dude. That's like 100% how he got good, because he skated that. He was one of like the first people to really like skate that run a lot. Like it was him and Rain, and that's how he got to know Rain. And like TJ could, I think I can say this confidently. TJ could barely skate when he started skating Fanny Rain, and that's a fucked up neighborhood run. Like if you're not from here and you skate that, it's engaging enough to be like kind of challenging.
dude, the pavement's bad.
The pavement's bad most of it, but it's really
And
fun.
I mean, it's really fun, but it's like a lot of square block stuff. Where like they'll be like, "Oh yeah, so and so's house needed gas." So, like there's this like chunk of pavement. It's a different like variety, like a different vintage, and then there's like a bunch of driveway slashes, a bunch of chip seal.
And then when you get to the bottom, it's just flat out terrible. Like once you hit the alley and you go down from there, no choice is good. Like every bit of that sucks. And I don't know, it's just fun because there's a bus back to the top of it. So like you can shuttle runs like 30 minutes apart of like pretty long runs. And so like you and the homies can pull up there with $1.50 to your name, maybe an extra $1 to buy in Arizona at some point, and then you just bust that shit all day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how TJ and I got really good together. And that's how TJ got really good in general, was just skating that all the time. And I remember there was a point where it was like you, Rain, myself, like Ethan Schnover, or however you say his last name.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone would just pull up like every, Friday or like Thursday or some shit. And we'd skate that shit weekly with just like 10 to 12 people on neighborhood runs that are like sketchy with 2.
Blasting.
Not fucking around.
Blasting,
Shit. Like
dude.
pseudo competitive, just trying to one up each other through like the home turf.
Yeah,
know?
tucking through neighborhoods where like there's a bunch of driveways and like going into blind right-hand corners that have like stop signs, and you're just like, yo, everybody launch your toe side together. Like definitely like Fast and the Furious vibes of like we ride together, we die together.
Baby.
Yeah, that's definitely bad. I remember like a lot of runs, taking them with you, and just like you being mildly sketchy, like taking Maryhill runs with you, taking like just like it got to the point where like you're good, but like you'd crash a lot.
You putting that very
You'd
generously.
crash a lot.
You're putting that generously.
You'd take a lot of people out.
Mildly sketchy is not what I would call that. I would call that generally sketchy. And
All
like,
purpose, weather sealed sketchy.
well, like, you know, I feel like it kind of goes back to like the chasing the adrenaline thing. And like, you know, when you're with your homies that you're super comfortable with, you do dumb shit. And like, I'm a big fan of that. And I'm a big fan of that energy. Like, if you ever skate a parking garage with me, I will indefinitely take you out, probably on purpose. Because like 9 out of 10 times, that shit's fun. I'm skating a hill I've skated hundreds of times. You know what's way more fun? Fucking with the homies. And so like, I don't know. I think I'm just a big proponent of that. And there's some times where it doesn't work out as jolly as I think it will.
Crashing people out left, right. So like, I know it's tough to compare like generationally. Who do you think was more sketchy? You or Garrett?
We're neck and neck, baby. Garrett and I are bad.
I don't know.
Dude, so one of the first,
who's worse? I would say like the issue though is Garrett still skates like pretty hard.
Okay,
And
I had a story about that because the last time, like one of the last times I skated the Issaquah area was with the boys. It was like me, Garrett, Sam, Devin, like a bunch of people pulled up. And Garrett and I were downhilling that one run that's kind of near the skate park. Like, you know, the one I'm talking about?
yeah.
Him and I were downhilling that, like, just first time seeing each other in like 2 years. And we did some questionable things that were not great. We took each other out. We almost ended up in the back of a car. We tried to bomb the run. We did like one run successfully, really tight, really stupid. And then the second time, a car pulled out in front of us halfway down. And we both just surfed behind said car until one of us had to shut down slide, which was
Was it you or was it Garrett?
it was Garrett.
Garrett shut down slide. You slid into the back of him.
Yeah.
Do you have a picture of it?
No.
Be a lot better if you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pushed me into a fence one time skating full runs.
He took me out so many, like one night we skated the U District, he took me out so many times. And by the last one, I was like, Garrett, what the fuck, dude? Like,
Yeah.
I'm having fun right now. You are ruining it, which is kind of a taste of my own medicine, you know? So, like, I'll take that. But yeah, and then we also did this something similar in Highlands where I tried to take that right before C-turns, like the fast or the kind of fast right that's blind. And I tried to take his inside. I ended up on the inside of a car's wheels and just kind of got up and kept going. One of those where you're like, that's my fault. Sorry. Like, I'm okay.
Dude, I remember that run. Yeah. Garrett went into the corner. You went to swoop his inside and like he slid a bunch and you didn't barely slid at all. So when you swung wide, there was a car there. There was a car there like coming up the hill and you like went down, slid into the car.
Slid under the car.
Under the car. Under the car. So like I don't mean to say into it. Like I mean like between the wheels, underneath the hood, like underneath the front bumper. And we were just like, oh shit. And I remember like turning back and looking at you and seeing you like kind of move. And I was like, oh, he good.
He good.
he okay. So I just like kept riding and like I looked back again to see what was going on. And you were just like looking around, but like running down the hill and throwing down. And,
like almost like I was pacing while skating, you know, like you could see the look in someone's eye, like,
like time to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And did anything ever come of that for you? Because I know that I didn't stop.
No, nothing ever came of that.
Nice.
The only fall that involved a car that anything ever came of it was when I got ran over by a van. It's Sketchy Run in Kenmore, which was a really stupid idea in the first place. That hill should not be skated how it was.
You mean like when we used to skate it, like it was a downhill run and you blow the two stop signs?
Blow the two stop
Yeah,
signs.
yeah, that's weird because we called it Sketchy Run and it was that's a very
It was aptly named
because you're blowing. It's the first right hand one where you're blowing the stop sign into a road that doesn't have a stop sign.
And that's where I got hit by a car. I got ran over by a van there.
Did you swing wide or?
Yeah. Another situation like the one with Garrett, except it was me and Max, and I was trying to chase Max, and I was riding 82A Street Slayers, and I tried to throw like a small pre-drift and then grip up and take the inside, and I swung wide directly under a sprinter van. And I went to the hospital. No broken bones, no nothing, just couldn't feel a goddamn thing in my front foot. Like, couldn't feel anything for weeks. And then I went and skated Giant's Head. That was the first time I came back. And it felt like I had to teach myself to skate again because I had literally no feeling in my front foot.
Damn.
Yeah.
You got hella run over.
I got run over as hell, but no broken bones, no torn ligaments, no nothing.
Did the van go over you?
Yes. I pulled my foot out from the van's tire when the van ran me over. It was just my foot. My left foot, to be exact. I got.
Were you there when Max broke his arm?
Was I there? I don't think so.
Max didn't really break his arm. Someone else crashed into Max on Sketchy Run.
Oh, I remember hearing about that.
Okay.
I wasn't actually there. I think I missed that session.
Damn, I forgot you got ran over by a car.
That run claimed lives, dude. We shouldn't have kept skating it, but it was always a good byproduct when you're out in that neck of the woods. You're like, I kind of want to downhill and take a corner that doesn't just stop after.
Yeah, I want to do a downhill run that has like 2 or 3 pre-drifts, and like that was the closest thing to the shop that wasn't in Lake Forest Park. Yeah, because I mean another good one, like the hole in Lake Forest Park.
The hole.
It's like that really big long right-hand corner. It's like off 178th. Like that was one that we were downhilling for a while.
Oh,
like
yeah.
just above Parkwood.
Yeah,
or not Parkwood,
right
but
by
Brookside.
Danny. Oh wait, I thought
Yeah,
you were
right,
by Danny's house.
Yeah, near
Yes.
Danny's house.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
that
remember
one
the
was
hole.
super good. Yeah, kind of by Danny's house. It's like up from Brookside Elementary.
Yes.
So you go up that one, and there's like that neighborhood that has like the couple hairpins, or not hairpins, but like Ziggy Zaggies.
Oh, it's by that one park.
Yeah,
Yes.
that super good park.
I know exactly. What you're
Yeah,
talking
so
about.
that run, when I was getting started, me and my buddies were skating there, and like that was our Sketchy run because it was like, oh yeah, these are the ones you could slide for, but like pre-drifting wasn't around and good wheels weren't around. So like I would have been so happy to have 82A Street Slayers to like ice out on, but no,
Yeah.
we had like big zigs. And we would ride that run all the time and crash into everybody's shit. Like crash into people's mailboxes, like crash into their parked cars, like loose boards hitting garage doors,
yeah.
just like the classics.
Well, because you and I grew up in the same neck of the woods, so we
Mm-hmm.
skated a lot of the same shit, especially at Lake Forest Park, which is pretty
Pretty good for skating.
pretty good for skating, not good for legal issues with the cops in that neck of the woods. 'Cause
Yeah.
There's like 10 officers on payroll for a city that's like 2 miles by 2 miles. Like they ain't got shit to do.
Yeah, it's the safest place to live in Washington. It is the highest police officers per capita when I was living there.
And I'm sure it still is because
Yeah.
you see cops there all the time, and so when you're like
Yeah, we drove through there today and we saw like multiple police officers.
every time, dude. It's
Yeah,
like
and so we were skating. There's no crime in Lake Forest Park. It's not like we lived in the ghetto. It's like
We
a
were the
nice
crime.
beach community. And so yeah, we were the crime. They're breaking up like wine drunk fights and downhill skateboarding. And like a lot of the good runs, the police station is the bottom of the bowl.
Yep.
And so like there's a lot of good runs that you skate that end up going by the police station. But there are also a lot of runs that we would skate for hours. Like I remember skating S turns for like
A day.
5 hours at a time with like 10, 15 people and like no problems.
But you skate 2 runs of Jeffs.
You skate 2 runs of Jeffs and cut off a bus and flip off a couple kids and all of a sudden the cops get
All of
called.
a sudden, the police officer's telling your parents you're gonna be road pizza one day, whatever the hell that means.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that's a verbatim quote from a police officer. I remember that shit.
Your kid's gonna be road pizza.
Yeah, your kid's gonna be pizza on the road, and I'm like, whatever, man. Like, I'm gonna go home. Like, I'm gonna walk home. Just kidding. I'm gonna skate the back roads home. Go fuck yourself.
The 2 that really got me is skating down from like worst police interferences of my longboarding career. Skating down from Paramount Park, if you know where,
do.
like you're going back to Shorecrest.
Yeah.
Skating down there, not a gnarly run. Cruising down, police officer sees me, does a 180, comes over, takes my board, like impounds that shit. Just like I have to walk home, and like I was living at that house that was like
I know.
completely the other direction. So I was like, fuck. I was like halfway between Motion Boardshop skating and like in my house. And so I was like,
That's like 3 miles, dude.
dude, it was a bummer. And I remember like going down there and like they're like, and I just got trucks on my. I want to say I just got Era, like the first ones. And I was like, dude, there's no way I'm like just letting him keep my fucking board. So I went down there and I was like, hey man, I really need my board. Like it's how I commute, like blah, blah, blah. And so they were like, okay, you have to pay this like $150 ticket. And I was like, shit, okay, I'm gonna pay this $150 ticket. So I wrote them a bad check. I thought it was a good check when I wrote it, but it turned out it was a bad check. So I like, it's like had the
Bro, do you have a warrant out for your arrest in Lake Forest Park?
haven't been back except for today. No. So like they were like, yo, they gave me my board back, and then they came to Motion Boardshop one time, and were like, yo, like you wrote a bad check. Like we gotta, like what the fuck? And at the time I was like, just kind of like getting paid in cash. And so like, I just had the cash on me to be able to like pay off the, like pay the ticket. I was like, yo, I'm so sorry. And they like made me go back. Because Motion Boardshop at the time was across the street from City Hall.
Yeah.
So like every run you do to get away, like there were so many times like the kids in the neighborhood, like
What they would
young
do-
you and like all these other kids, like you'd bomb the hills. The police would like be like, where the fuck are they? And you guys would like come to Motion Boardshop and hide in the bathroom.
Yeah, hide in the bathroom, dude. Hide in the bathroom. They'll never find us. That was like some shit. Like I remember that. That was, oh man, talk about like a terrible good rush. Like being like, oh shit, 5-0, time to go. And you hit the Burt Gilman or you hit Motion and you hide in the fucking bathroom. And that's all you can do. And that, those were some times. Growing up in Lake Forest Park was such an interesting experience to be a skateboarder because like you just got shit. Like I stopped skating in my own neighborhood except to like go places. You know, it was solely for commuting. It was
Yeah, we would go and skate Richmond Beach a lot, which is why we skated so much Richmond Beach, is because like
no one cares.
yeah, no one cared. And like in Lake Forest Park, you just would have like the sessions, and that was when like at one point I remember like 35 people left Motion Boardshop and like tried to go skate like over run, and just like the shit got shut down so fast. And you're like, oh, like you guys are so dumb. Like, and speaking of dumb, do you remember when people were skating Holmes all the time? Like Holmes Point Drive, like young kids. Like,
Oh yeah. I was one of those
yeah,
kids.
like no, we're talking younger than you, like Heffernan and like
Playing like Danny and Ryan and shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that shit was buck. I remember like learning that all these young kids have been skating this road. It's like 40 miles an hour, and I was like, dude, I don't even skate that thing. Like it's so dangerous. It's like a double yellow, hella guardrails, great place to like run into a guardrail or a car.
Terrible pavement.
Terrible.
Really, and it's like an acceleration that's really quick and kind of like unassuming. You're like, oh, dude, this looks kind of chill. And then you do it, you're like,
So you go through like the first corner and then the second corner, and you're like, oh shit, I'm hauling ass. You're like, yeah, it's like right on the edge of gripping and sliving.
People got bricked there too. I remember a lot of kids in high school getting bricked there, for sure. I remember Joe got super bricked there. He got so hurt. Oh. People used to wear leathers down that shit. That was how
Yeah.
like fiending we were for like real downhill, especially because you couldn't downhill skate like Forest Park anymore. Shit
That was
so
one of the next runs that was close over. That and Sketchy Run.
Yeah, and Sketchy Run was way worse.
Yeah, that and then a bunch of Edgewater, because all the Edgewater people didn't care because Kleiny lived on the hill and he had blown it, and then Z Turns. And
Yeah.
Z Turns was the other one that was super good because that was not in Lake Forest Park anymore.
And it was also probably some of the worst pavement that people like actively skated. That run's bad. Like that run's, I won't go there.
You know they repaved it? Yeah. It's
You're
like
shit.
worse.
God
It's
fucking
so
damn it.
bad.
Dog,
Yeah,
you
no,
got my
I-
hopes up so high. I was like,
Dude,
that
it's repaved, but it's like bad chips. It's like the grippy Tari chip seal. Like it maybe needs a year or two.
we filmed a video on the Phantom there, and that wasn't great either.
No. Dude,
Not great.
so many bad videos that have been filmed there.
Yeah.
Cool road. Just like, it's one of those things we were talking about this today. Like I thought I did something really sick, and then like we were walking to the next spot, and I was like, kind of like the cow. I was like, you know, that's one of those things that probably felt really sick, but looks like shit on tape. And
Yeah.
Kyle's like, I don't know, I can't really. Camera's dead. I can confirm. I can neither confirm nor deny.
I cannot confirm or deny. This is pretty mids, my guy. Let's go
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Good clip, super fun, like driveway slash to stand up slide. But it felt as good as it felt. It's one of those ones like if I see it on camera, I'm just gonna be like, delete it. Like,
Get rid of it.
yeah, please.
That's how that whole neck of the woods is. Besides Edgewater, like most of that shit's like not that great. Like
That driveway is super sweet that I was talking about.
Driveway's
Besides
really
that one and done nature, and that like
if you want to impale a goddamn Tesla, like
Yeah.
that's not a place I want to skate. Like back in those days, like you know, you could just be like, I'm just a kid, haha. Like I don't have any money. But now it's like I'm a 25-year-old adult. I should probably have some money. like I can't take accountability for that shit financially. God no, I'm not skating that.
look at him. I know. I should know better. Yeah, today the gentleman that pulled us over. I mean, dude, I have had a long kind of history of like shit talking the police, like not the police. I've always been very nice to the police because I know that they're the like gonna fuck your day up people.
Yeah.
But like neighbors, like I've had that video that we filmed with, I don't even know what it was for, but I know you did a super gangster backside 180 through like a huge corner.
And I know exactly which one you're talking about, where the camera's like kind of panned up.
I think it's a Freewheel Co video.
And you're like, oh, God, they say? They're like, didn't I just ask you to move? And you're like, yeah. And they're like, so you moved over here. And it was like a street down. And we're like, yeah. You said to move. Like, you didn't say how far. Like,
Yeah, she was like, I told you to stop skating over there. I was like, yeah, and we did. And she's like, we just came over here. I was like, yeah. And she's like, what's that all about? I was like, it's a loophole. And she's like, well, now it's time to go. And it's like, whatever. Today we had the incident where the dude in the Mercedes was like, yo, you know, like, you're going to fall and you're going to sue everybody on this road. And I was just like, dude, no, I'm not. He was just like, it was one of those, like, the way he said it was like, you're going to fall and like the bills are going to be piling up. I was like, dude, I have health insurance. Like, I am not suing you, like, at all. Like, why would I sue you? I'm not going to fall. He was like, but what happens if something happens? And I was like, the only time I'm going to fall is if someone's like parked in the road like this.
Yeah.
And he was just kind of like parked in the middle of the road. And he like tried to get the other neighbor on his side. Like,
That didn't work.
yeah, he was like, yeah, these guys are just skating down the road. And the neighbor dude's like, yeah, they're pretty good. And he's like, lives at the bottom. He doesn't even live on the road. And he was just like, just being just one of those like, dude, you're going to fall and you're going to sue us. And like, this is a private road. I'm just like, buddy, like,
bro, I can't sue myself for being an idiot. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, but like,
yeah. And first off, like, how many longboarders do we know that have crashed and sued somebody?
none.
Like, none. I know one person. His name is Eric, and he skated out in front of the high school and got hit by that car. Do you remember this?
I vaguely do.
Yeah, we were talking about this today. Eric left our high school on like the last day of school, and this lady who had just graduated high school was like driving in front of the school, just like minding her P's and Q's, and Eric comes like skating out of the front of the fucking high school and like boom gets hit by this car on this lady's like last day of high school. Eric goes like over the hood of her car, like breaks his leg like right after school, and they end up like suing the insurance company because like of like all this BS. But it's like, dude, Eric, you like idiot. Like, we all knew. Like, if we would have gone to court, it would have been like 10 people who know Eric really well just being like, you mean the idiot who like blew the stop sign and skated across the street? Like, no, it's his fault.
Yeah.
So like, that's the only person I know that's sued. But like
I don't know anyone else. Every time I got hit by a car or I've hit a car, I'm always like, my bad. That's my
yo,
fuck
you
up.
should probably leave.
Yeah, literally. Every time it's like,
You should get out of here.
I'll see myself out. I know where the door is and it's the fuck away from here because I ain't gonna get sued.
Yeah,
for this shit.
yeah. You're also kind of like looking around, like, "Yo, don't call the cops." And they're like, "I'm not gonna call the cops." You're like, "Okay, we're on the same page here. Like, no one's calling the cops. Let me go." Yeah, definitely dealt with that. I've slid into a couple cars. I definitely like almost got into it. This is like more recent. I was skating a road and a dog came out from behind a fence and ended up biting me in the ankle.
Jesus.
Which is pretty weird. So I'm in the middle of this road, and this dude comes out after this dog, and like, so there's, I'm skating down the road. There's a neighbor, there's like a bunch of really nice Indian people who were like watching me skate down the road on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side of the road is this house, and behind this hedge is a, whatever. Dog comes running out from behind this hedge. I'm skating down. I do a stand-up slide. Boom, dog bites me in the ankle. All the Indian people that are super nice and been watching me just literally watch this go down and are like, oh my goodness. And this dude comes running out from behind the house. He's like, and he like sees me on the pavement now because like just had my ankle bit. And he comes out and he's like, hey, you shouldn't be skating here. It's pretty dangerous. Like, you could fall. And it looks like that's what you did.
No.
And I was just like,
bro, that's your goddamn dog. Like,
I was like, dude, your dog just bit me. And he was like, no, that couldn't happen. And it just like went away. And I know where he lives. And I like went back there one time and I didn't do it, but like I had a brick that I was so ready to throw through like his like big window because it's up in Mukilteo and it like overlooks that like ferry landing. If you like know where I'm talking about, like kind of up there.
You're gonna edit this out.
Yeah. It's like I went back there one time to get a couple clips and throw a brick through this homie's window, and like I remember like looking at it and like kind of looking around and be like, this is probably a bad idea, but like I had the brick in my car, I was like super bent. I was like really bent about it. But like, hey man,
Oh God.
you live and you learn, and then you get loves. That's how it goes. I was so glad I didn't do it because I'm sure something would have gone wrong.
Yeah, you live, you laugh, you love, you break.
Yeah, I like told someone about. I think I told Allison about that because she was there and got bit the first time, and she's like, what were we gonna do with that brick? I was like, throw it through the guy's window. She's like, and what would that have done? And like, probably broken his window. Like, she's like, would that have fixed anything? I'm like, not his window. Like,
Would it fix my anger?
maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, that was super. That was, I mean,
That's good.
you like that? That's
really
that's an
bad.
insight into Nate. Sometimes
That's something, man. That is.
and you know what's funny is sometimes the Lord gives you, here's your karmic justice. He gave me a dog that now like sometimes gets a little mouthy. So now I'm
So wait, you got a shitty situation that turned shittier?
kind of. No, I love my dog. He's just kind of bad around certain people.
Yep, that'll happen. I had a dog that got put down because of that.
What?
Yeah. We had a dog that's just like
What type of dog?
Catahoula Leopard Hound from Louisiana state dog.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
They're pretty fucking dogs, man.
Yes.
They ain't city dogs. They
No.
ain't suburb dogs. Those are working dogs that like to chase pigs. And they are not meant for a house in the woods in Lake Forest Park without a fenced yard. So those types of dogs require like 45 minutes to an hour of exercise a day.
Yep.
Didn't quite happen that much. He didn't like most people. He bit a decent amount of people that came to the house. And that wasn't like the linchpin. We got a new puppy who we still have today. And we had another dog before this that like the two dogs got along well enough. So we're like, another dog won't be that bad. Bit the puppy's eye out. Like eye out of socket, bit out like 12-week-old Boston Terrier puppy. And when your dog almost eats your other dog's eye, it's kind of when you put the dog down. But cool thing is that dog that's still alive, he had like a 10% chance of being able to see after they surgically reattached his eye. That motherfucker can see, and he is a terrible dog.
What's his name?
His name is Tony.
What are your dog's names again?
We have the amazing Larry, the sensational Tony, and Ham.
The amazing Larry, the sensational Tony,
And Ham.
And
Hammy
Ham.
Hambone the third, if you want to like talk what's on their pedigrees, but like it's Ham, Larry, and Tony.
Okay.
And Tony's the one who's got his eye bitten out, and he's the
He
worst.
didn't learn his lesson.
He's the worst dog.
Okay.
I love him dearly, but he's a compulsive barker, and that dog will live through the nuclear holocaust. Like that dog,
He's invincible.
he will outlive all of us in this room without a doubt in my mind.
And just eating Twinkies.
Literally,
Yeah,
that
eating
dog.
Twinkies and Hershey's bars.
He had a tumor on his head that got removed, so he's got a big old Frankenstein scar on his head. His eye pops out the other way because he got bit out. He drowned because he just didn't close his mouth when he was in the water. So he drowned and had to get his like stomach pumped. And he also has epilepsy, so he takes medication for seizures. It's broken, dude. It's broken.
How old's this dog?
9. He acts like he's like 12 weeks old still. He's crazy.
He just goes nuts.
100% of the time.
Great, dude. Wild.
100%. So that's other two dogs are cool. Larry's kind of a bummer. He's kind of like Eeyore. He's 13. That motherfucker's on his last leg for sure. He's on his last leg. Ham is adorable, but like French bulldogs just shouldn't exist. You know, like those dogs are not. They ain't natural. Like,
What do you? Is that the like they have to have a C-section because the heads are
Yes.
too big?
They have to have a C-section because the heads are too big, and like 9 out of 10 Frenchies have like health issues, like spinal problems, and like our dog has a spinal problem. He like seems fine. He seems happy. He seems healthy, but like he's got a degenerative spine. They're like, we'd expect this from like a 10-year-old lab. I'm like, shit, that's a 3-year-old French bulldog, and this shit barely functioned. They're cute, but man, that breed's not that ethical. Not usually one that thinks about those things, but I just feel.
I was about to say, yeah, it's one really funny. I love when you like. We've always gotten into these like really fun conversations about like, I don't want to say like politics and shit, but you're always be like, yo, this is like the thing that you should say, but I'm not really want to judge because I'm doing this, this, and this, and it's like, yeah.
I mean, I like to think of things in a very realistic perspective, and like I understand I listen to any people and any takes typically, but you know, I take that shit with my own grain of salt. You know, I understand how the world works on the outside, and like I take shit for face value. You know, I don't like to read too deep into shit because you know that's how you get people that like believe in QAnon. That's how you get people that believe in like crackpot shit. And me as an observer who likes to practice living in reality, I watch that shit on pins and needles because I'm like, y'all are literally crazy fucking people, and like that shit it makes me laugh. I find that shit hilarious. So we always end up in these conversations because my finger is on the pulse of crazy most of the time. And I'm
Okay.
like, yeah, I don't believe that shit, but like, do you hear what they believe? Like
This shit's legit.
whoa. And I end up like, I don't want to say buying into these conspiracies, but I end up talking about them like they're real because I find them so crazy. And so I'll be talking about like microchips and like the deep state as a total as a total joke. And people are like, oh shit, is that dude
He
crazy?
really knows a lot about this.
Yeah, 100%.
This could be my source for the information I need.
Bro.
Yeah, exactly. But like we were talking about oh my goodness. I mean, not dogs recently, but I think we were talking about one of the like longboarding events that we had gone to, and like being in the U-Haul and just hating it so much, but like watching people dying on the outside, like oh, I'm like, you remember like 4 or 5 people sketching up on the back of a U-Haul, and then just like someone wheel rubbing someone, and then just like dying, and you're like, oh, it seemed like a good idea at the time, but like it's never a good idea.
Giant's Head, man. You don't sketch up a hill like that. You really don't. Like, that's not something you should sketch up. It's a road that the U-Haul can barely make it up. So, like, if you are dumb enough to be, like, I get it. The U-Haul's hot. It sucks. Someone's probably smoking something in there. You can't breathe that great. It's 100 degrees, for sure. So, like, yeah, being on the back of that U-Haul sketching sounds great. But when there's 5 other motherfuckers on there trying to take up a very limited amount of space through a windy road, someone's gonna get fucked. I've gotten fucked doing that for sure.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It's not a good idea.
Have you ever crashed on the back of a? I've
Maryhill. Going
Maryhill?
really slow, but yeah, luckily it's pretty inconsequential. But that shit can be bad.
Yeah, definitely. If there's a takeaway from our podcast, is that you should never sketch up a hill
That's
behind like a U-Haul with a bunch of other people.
It sounds so fun in theory, and don't get me wrong, 100 degrees in a U-Haul, like that shit ain't fun. But the possible consequences of sketching up a hill. I mean, I guess the biggest.
I probably watched like 20 people ruin their Maryhill experience by like wheel rubbing, or like the U-Haul takes a bad line and puts you sketching into the rocks.
Yeah.
Or like just the dumbest shit, and like you crash, like, and the people driving the U-Hauls are always driving up the hill like 25,
what
30 miles
speed?
an hour. Yeah, you're like, dude, just chill.
Well, because
like,
the people who drive the U-Haul are always people that have been to Maryhill. They like know that shit like the back of their hands, and they're like, I don't give a fuck if I sacrifice my day at this hill to drive a bunch of kids up it. So like they know how the road works, and they're like, everyone wants to get runs in faster. I'm gonna make that happen, and sometimes it's at other people's dismay.
Yeah. Yeah. So don't do that. The only time that I thought it was really cool is when we had the wakeboard tow rope off the back of the U-Haul. And then you're like by yourself, like 25 feet behind the U-Haul, sketching up. And then you're like, okay,
This is fine.
This is good shit.
But when you're crammed in with 5 other people on a turny road, fuck that. Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
absolutely the fuck not.
I think the biggest takeaway from this whole podcast is like we've listed a lot of things that people like stereotypically should not do while skateboarding. Don't do those things.
Yeah,
Like, we've
done
learned.
them.
We've done them. There's a reason you don't do it.
Yeah, I got crashed out U-Haul style. But luckily when I got crashed out, somebody fell under me. So when I landed on them.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. Speaking of getting crashed out, do you remember the Freewheel Co video where I broke Darius's camera and spiked myself into the ground?
I knew this was gonna come
Yeah,
up.
I was about to say
I knew this was gonna come up, and I remember
that it's because Devin and I blame you,
and I
but when me
I
and you were
blame it.
together, we blame Devin.
Yeah.
Either way, it wasn't my fault.
It wasn't, dude. You were a byproduct.
I was
of
a
that.
byproduct.
You were 100% a byproduct of that. Who surfed who? Did you surf Devin or did Devin surf you? Because one of you ended up riding the other, like off the road.
I want to say
I think Devin surfed you.
I think Devin surfed me.
Because you got the shit end of the
I got the
stick.
shit end of the stick. I also had the camera in my hand. I tried not to spike it, but in the process of trying not to spike it, just like spiked it even worse. Like just, yeah.
I think this story needs a preface of Nate and I's birthdays fall on a very similar date, which is also the same date as Near the Fall Free Ride. So Nate and I were up late the night before, enjoying the camaraderie of a skateboarding event. And stargazing till the wee hours. Most of us hadn't slept a lot, and then we decided Sunday was a great day to film raw runs with the boys. I was in a pair of pajamas and a sweatshirt at the time and a full face helmet, barely awake. And same goes for pretty much everyone else in the crew minus the attire. So, needless to say, things were getting interesting. And Devin and I were going real fast with Nate trying to film us.
Well,
And
it was. I think it was Me, you, Sam, Steven, Martine, Parker, and Blake.
And Devin.
And Devin. Yes. And so we had like a big pack run. We're passing the camera back and forth. And it was just freaking awesome. And we had Darius as well. And I forget I think it's all Darius's fault, honestly, because Darius was supposed to be filming and he was on his street luge or his butt boarding. And so the first run went down no problem. The second run, he was like, I don't know. He just didn't make the U-Haul or whatever the case may be, but his camera did. So we had his camera and we're like, dude, we're just going to like film this super gnarly Maryhill run, like, and it's going to be great. And like, it was going totally fine. We had a bunch of super sketchy, almost everyone dies moments, like as you do every time you take a Maryhill run
with a pack.
And then we got to a point where you and Devin, whatever happened, you guys rubbed wheels, but you rubbed wheels like right in front of me. You guys both went down and I just went down over the top of you and everybody else made it out scot-free.
If my memory serves correctly, we were going really fast because it was a tailwind day. And Devin and I somehow pulled out in front of everybody with you trailing us, filming us. And then I think Devin was giving me bumps or something, and he went to pass.
You guys were both on open-wheeled boards. I know that.
Well, like, yeah, and he went to pass me, and then we rubbed wheels. And you fell as a byproduct of that. Devin was running it off and jumped on your back. And you fell down the cliffside. You definitely fucked up your shoulder. You had so much road rash right here.
Dude, yeah, I fell on my tummy.
And then I burned my pajama pants into my knee. And I remember that was pretty bad. I still got the scar for sure. Like, and I remember Dubes was holding my hand as they were pulling my pajama pants out of my knee.
Yeah.
There's a picture of that for sure. That sucked. Nothing like a hangover with some burnt felt into you.
Oh, dude, it always hurts so bad to crash. Like, oh my, I wish there was footage of that one.
Too bad we fucking spiked the camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. Oh, dude, that was a bummer. Darius was super pissed. And
he was bummed.
I was like, okay, well, like, what do you want me to do? Like, I could have either left your camera at the top of the hill or like tried to do it, and like everything was going good right up until it wasn't. And
that's how it goes sometimes.
That's how it goes, man. It's not my fault. So like, of all the events that you've been to, what event was your favorite?
I mean, Giant's Head.
Giant's Head,
without a doubt. That shit's just so fun. You can't have a bad time. Well, you can have a bad time at Giant's Head.
A broken rib would beg to differ.
You can crack a rib at Giant's Head, but like the skating is just so goddamn fun.
Were you there at the Giant's Head where like Wolf potatoed himself like either run 2 or 3 and like crash and had road rash all up and down
all weekend, and he was in so much pain. He started to take runs by the end of the weekend. It was just like, I don't want to do this. Like, this ain't good. Yeah, I don't know. I think all the times I've had there, it's been the most fun because the skating's always fun, the party's great, and like it's just like that road is. I could skate that road infinitely for the rest of my lifetime and be satisfied. This shit's just terrifying. It's just like cool, lots of corners, good terrain, good shit. That Britannia is a close second because it's the only race I felt like you got enough free ride runs to justify spending $300. No offense to the rest of the races, but that shit was fun. Like you could skate a lot, and if it was wet, it was great. If it was dry, it was awesome and fast and scary. But like that road was super fun. And same story, you know, everyone's coming off of Danger Bray and Jake's Rash, so it's just like a good time there. It's a good crew of people, and that shit was really fun. Cathlamet, it's a close third, but after you do like 5 or 6 of them, you know, I feel like you just get kind of burnt out because the race isn't that great.
The free ride's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like the slide jam where they have all the events, the sidewalk showdown's pretty cool.
Yeah, like the whole weekend is sick, but like the race itself is pretty mids. Like,
yeah.
I take a left 90 at 15 miles an hour. I take a right 90 at 30, and then I have an awkward chicane that has a jump after it. And then I've got another corner like 25.
And I'm bombing across a literal highway that connects 2 states.
Yeah, literally. So it's just like pretty mid-tier, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that event was just really fun as like a whole. But then like, dude, some of the slept on like super honorable mentions are all the slide jams, you know, all the Boomtown slide jams, like going to the one at Kiss and Tell was crazy. That was like unheard of like attendance for an event out here. That was
pretty awesome.
Pretty cool. I also won some fucking money, which was also pretty cool. But
yeah, that's right. You did win some money there.
I did. That's also where God, that Bales reel was so good. So much good shit. But that was really cool. And some of the Boomtown events in Oregon that preceded that were really sick. That's where I once fell really hard on my pubic area and got the nickname Pubrash for a while because I tore open my like lower stomach / pubic area, and that sucked.
Yeah. You belly flopped.
I belly flopped hard.
Yep. Was that at the first one or the second one where they had all the ramps?
It was the one in God, what's the area that Alex Tongue used to live in? That weird neck of the woods in
Happy Valley.
It was in Happy Valley. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh.
because the first one was in Salem, second one was Happy Valley, third one was
Yeah. I remember that one. That was the one on like the straighter hill.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you got smoked in
got
that.
destroyed.
Oh, dude, that was the bummer about going to slide jams back in the day. It was like, who can just crash last?
Yeah.
You know, like, who can do the most amount of